All right, we're live.
Oh,
Okay.
How's it going?
Hey, everybody. What's up? We missed you. It's been 3 weeks.
Don't speak for me.
You didn't miss everybody? How dare you? How dare you? How was everyone's holidays?
I can't complain.
Good. What'd you do?
Had my dad over, my sister over, opened a bunch of presents.
Nice. Get
Yeah.
anything good?
Yeah, got a new monitor, got a leather jacket, got some perfume.
You
Did you
mean
say you got
cologne?
water?
What?
I thought I heard you say you got water.
A monitor, new monitor.
Oh, I, I was like,
All he
what?
wanted for Christmas was a
A
bottle
case
of
of water?
water.
All I want for Christmas is some water.
But you said you got perfume?
I guess cologne.
Yep.
Just,
I would hope cologne. I'd be a little concerned if you're wearing perfume and a leather jacket. Where
Is
you going,
there
River?
is there a literal difference between cologne and perfume besides
one
just
is
calling it different?
one is for a man, one is for a woman.
Is
But
that
then,
really the difference?
I think like the unisex ones are still called perfume.
Huh.
I think. I don't know. Let me look that up. Gender neutral fragrance. Et de parfum. They're all trying to be super fancy. Gender neutral fragrances, I think is what everyone's calling them. So I guess neither cologne nor perfume.
Yeah.
Interesting. How about you, Hammered? How was your holidays?
Good. I didn't really do anything. Just hung around.
Did you presents? Did you get presents?
Um, I got sandals. I lost my
Oh,
well, I didn't lose. I broke my last pair in Italy, and so I got some new ones. There's some like kind of expensive noble ones.
nice. Sounds nice and relaxing. Soul, how was yours?
I was in the hospital, but other than that, just stayed home and had eggnog.
You got eggnog.
Yes, sir. I remember you saying that you weren't you were upset that you didn't get any.
Aw.
I did it afterwards for New Year's. Yeah. Never miss out on eggnog.
I don't think I've ever had eggnog, but just by looking at it, I feel like I wouldn't like the consistency of it.
It's kind of thick.
Yeah, I don't really like the thick.
It's not what she said.
Good one. My holidays were good. I flew back home to Pennsylvania to spend time with family. We do this thing where, like, on Christmas Eve, I stay at my brother and sister-in-law's house with their 2 kids, and then we do, like, the adult Christmas, like, the night before on Christmas Eve while the kids are sleeping. Because then the next day, like, it's all about the kids and them opening up all their presents, and it's always really cute. So that was fun. Getting to spend time with family was nice. Getting to see all of my old friends was really nice. It was a little bit longer of a trip than I wanted. And it was crazy because the flight there, I was supposed to fly out at like 6:30 p.m. and get there at like midnight-ish. And I was flying into Boston, which is about a 2-hour drive back home. So then it got delayed by like 2.5 hours. And I was like, there's no way I'm making my dad drive there and back until like 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, that's insane. He's going to fall asleep and die. So the good thing about Southwest is that if your flight is delayed by an hour or more, you can change your flight for free and pick any flight, no matter what price it is, as long as it's open.
From any
shit.
carrier? From any carrier?
From Southwest, I know for sure. I'm not sure about the other ones. But it was really nice because then I just picked a flight the next day that left at like noon, and I got in at like 6, and it worked out, which was nice. And then my flight back here was supposed to be a little delayed, ended up not being delayed, which was nice. but I brought one of my cats with me. I have 3 cats in case anyone doesn't know who's listening. My 2 cats, my 2 stray cats that I rescued, stayed at my brother's place who lives here. But my cat that I've had since he was a kitten that I got from the shelter, he just can't be there. Like he has a dog, which the dog doesn't really bother with him. But when I try to take him to leave, he gets terrified for some reason. And the last time I tried to pick him up from my brother's place, my cat literally like attacked me, like scratched me, bit me so hard. I mean, I was bleeding everywhere, and then he shit all over the floor. So I was like, I'm not doing that again. So I just took him with me, and that worked out really well, except for the flight home when I think my cat had just like had enough for like the last hour of the flight. It was just like softly crying underneath the seat in front of me. So I would have to like bend down to pet him to calm him down. And then anytime I took my hand out, he just started crying again. So I spent the last hour of the flight like with my head up against the table and just like petting him, trying not to fall asleep.
Was he in
So that,
crate?
yeah, he was in a little
Crate
crate.
or like a plastic crate?
It's like a canvas
or-
crate.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fabric crate.
yeah, and it fit perfectly under the seat in front of me, which was nice. But yeah, I mean, so that was, and I don't know if I'm gonna do that again. The only reason I did that is because I was gonna be gone for like almost 2 weeks. And normally I would have my brother just come over here every couple of days and feed my cats while I'm gone, but I didn't want to leave them alone for like 2 weeks. Like that just seemed a little cruel to me. So hopefully I won't have to do that again next year because I always feel bad. But yeah, that was my holidays.
Chaos.
Yeah, a little bit. It sucks because I didn't have a ton of time to like relax when I got home before I had to go back into work on Monday. So I kind of went into work like not 100%, but I made it. I survived. I lived to see another day. Yeah. So how's COVID affecting everyone? Anyone got COVID yet?
Yeah, I haven't gotten it. A bunch of people at my gym has,
Oh, yikes.
but I had a fun story from my dive bar.
Oh, do tell.
So I walked in and there was a bunch of police there and there was like shit. It was like kind of there was tape. It wasn't taped off. You know? Like it wasn't like taped off. There was just police tape in there. um and when I asked what happened because I actually like took a look when I was in there and it was like they were just like playing pool and standing around and like bullshitting around. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And the bartender was like, yeah, some guy accidentally shot himself in the leg because he was messing around with a gun that was in his pants. And so they have to keep that area, people away from it so they can, crime scene unit can take the bullet out of the floor.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yikes. That's fun.
Sounds
Ugh.
scary.
Yeah. We've got a listener. His name is Ryan. He said, "Greetings from the Netherlands. Smart not sober here. We have the most strict lockdown in Europe / the world here in the Netherlands."
That sucks.
Yeah, and I guess Soul is chatting from Smart Not Sober. He
Yeah.
said, "We are here in the States and they could care less at this point," which is true. I feel like the CDC should give it up. I feel like they're kind of like, well, if people won't get the vaccines, then screw you all. Like, there's something else we can do.
Yeah,
Well-
Canada's closed, right? River.
Yeah, we're
They
closed.
closed down again.
They put us back in lockdown because Omicron's spreading here like wildfire. And when I mean wildfire, like it's insane.
I mean, I'm missing at least 10 kids from every single one of my classes here.
So they've stopped allowing people to get tests because they can't test as many people that need them. We had a scare like just after Christmas, or no, just before Christmas with my wife, and it took us 10 days to book a test. Like that's how bad it is. So they basically have said you can't like eat in at restaurants anymore. you can't get a test unless you're an essential worker. They're not going to report testing from schools or from daycares in like the daily case counts. Basically, they just are fabricating the numbers so that the numbers get lower so they can open up again. It's a farce. An absolute banana farce. Crazy. They're
Yeah.
pulling an American.
In Florida, I don't know what's going on. Everything is open. Apparently, our governor DeSantis may have COVID, and he's just like hiding because he doesn't want people to know.
Huh.
Because like he was at a press conference and he just looked really sick. Like he was coughing, having a lot of time breathing. He looked like he was like flustered. And people were like, "Yeah, he may have COVID," because he went like on vacation and like I think he went somewhere in Europe where they like it was really like the COVID rates started going high. So they think he may have like gotten it and brought it back to Florida.
Yeah, it's Omicron. They're saying here that Omicron is spreading so fast, it's so contagious that everyone eventually will get it at some point.
Is that? And I'm asking a question. I'm not. I'm not being ignorant. I don't know. uh, but isn't it better that we all get this one that has like the lowest, like, or the least bad outcome of the COVIDs, so that we start to gain natural immunity? Like your
I would
body starts learning how to
say
fight it.
I would say yes, then I would say no, because right now it's mild, right? But there's cases of people that had the original strain of COVID and they have something called long COVID, right?
What?
Which is it's called long COVID. So like you have a constant brain fog. Your body still can't oxygenate your blood well enough, right? There's like side effects from it.
Yeah, I've heard of some people that they get their smell and taste back, but everything tastes and smells different than it used to.
But
Yeah,
isn't this all with the original, not the new
yeah,
one?
but we don't
Yeah,
necessarily. Omicron's only been out for like what, 3 months, 4 months, so we don't really know what the long-term effects of it could possibly be.
we just
Whereas
have like
with
secondhand accounts of other people.
yeah, so it's scary to think that like we don't really know, basically.
Well, and the thing is, this is only a soft variant if you're vaccinated. If you are
Yeah,
not vaccinated, it's
it's
almost
bad.
as severe. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got
I haven't
people in
heard
hospitals
that.
here in the ICUs. Oh yeah, no, the ICUs are filling up quick here.
Our hospitals are full,
Yeah,
completely full here, and back home
we
in Pennsylvania.
we've got we've got like cities, full cities that have no paramedics to respond to 911 calls because the paramedics by law have to stay with their patient waiting for a hospital bed. So you dial 911 and they're like, "Yeah, an ambulance can come in like 3 hours because we're having to send someone from another city and that's how long it's going to take to get there."
Oh, I'm being called out by Ryan.
Huh.
He said what I said is not true. Can you elaborate? Because I feel like there's still people dying who are unvaccinated from getting COVID. Is that just not true?
I just haven't heard of anybody dying from this one, and that
I've
everybody's
heard.
saying that it's not.
Yeah, I've heard the.
bad.
I've heard from some when I was watching CNN when they had the CDC that Omicron. It's not that it's more dangerous. It's just more contagious. It's a lot more easier for people to get. I think that's what's causing the numbers to go higher, and people are getting scared of that because there's all they're seeing on that's being reported is COVID cases are getting higher. They're not really saying, well, COVID cases are getting higher because Omicron is more contagious. Hence why the COVID cases, because it is a COVID agent, it's getting higher. Now, is that relating to deaths? No, I don't think it is. I think it's just relating to the fact that people are just getting this disease a lot easier.
But people are still dying.
If you have like underlying issues, but you die from the flu, the cold, from underlying issues as well.
Yeah, that's what they're saying here, right? And the numbers that they're releasing are kind of not accurate because they're saying hospital cases with COVID, um, whether they got COVID in the hospital or COVID is what brought them to the hospital, they're counting it as a COVID number. a lot of the cases right now in hospitals are people that got COVID while they were in the hospital, so they're not accurate. Like that's the thing that bugs me is none of the data that they're reporting is accurate. They're leaving some things out, adding other things in, all to basically politicize the entire pandemic. And America's guilty of it, Canada's guilty of it,
I think
and
that's
it's
the
changed.
big thing of why, like, I don't really know anything about anything when it comes to this
Can't
because I don't
trust
really
it.
know what's true and what's
You
not
can't
true and
trust
what's
it.
me being dumb or
Yeah,
I don't know.
literally half the stuff's fabricated, half the numbers are fabricated. Like they're gonna say in 2 weeks' time that our case counts dropped, and it's got nothing to do with who has COVID and who doesn't. It has everything to do with people physically not being able to go get tested because they don't qualify for a test. So yeah,
Or the fact that
your
we're
numbers go
literally
down.
run out of tests.
Yeah,
We
your
ran out of
numbers are
tests
going
here.
down. Exactly. So 2 weeks from now, you're gonna have no one that's got it because no one can get a test. So yeah, it's I don't know.
Now I heard something else too about a new strain, the flu Rona.
The flu
Well,
rona.
it's not a new strain. It's just Corona and flu combined.
Yeah.
Well, that's what. Yeah. Well, I guess like it's like a thing now that they're getting. You get the flu and coronavirus, which I thought coronavirus was like a version of the flu.
So I'm looking at some reports. So the disease does appear to be less severe, and many people spend a shorter time in the hospital. They don't need high
Yeah,
flow oxygen.
joking.
Average length of stay is apparently 3 days. It's just not the same. It's not the same disease as we were seeing a year ago. So it's just like I said, it's just something like you're gonna get it, and it's gonna put you on your ass, just like any other like bug. But
Yeah,
Well, I
well,
heard
we
the
can all
reason I
agree that
brought.
it's mild, but where I got my information from is my local news, which is in Phoenix, and it says coronavirus cases, hospitalizations, and death increase in Arizona, and that was 2 days ago. So people are still dying. Just
I mean, my girlfriend's a paramedic here in Denver, and I mean, she definitely picks up COVID people still, but she's not really getting the same as when it first was coming around, and people who are like, fuck, like
yeah, that's what they were
I
saying
don't
at the
want to say
hospital I was
dying,
at.
but
Like
dying.
when I was at the hospital, I was asking them like, "What's how bad is it?" Like they're like, "Yeah, we have some COVID patients, but like we're not filled to the brim with ICU patients like of COVID. Like they they weren't full at all. Now I know that's just one hospital, but like they were saying, it's not the same as last year. Like when it was happening the first year, like there was like wall to wall people of coming in. It's not the same now.
So the reason I had brought that up even was because I heard some radio host talking about it, and I mean he's a radio DJ, so I don't know his credentials on telling us what to do and what not to do during a pandemic. But he was saying something um that was weird and like made me think is he's like this is something we should get like we should get herd immunity type deal. Like this is the one everybody should just get it and start to like work on natural um not immunity. Immunity is not the right word. I can't think of the word.
antibodies.
Yeah. Start working on our natural antibodies for it because those are the best thing for anything is what our body just does for it.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
got
I
a,
mean,
a
I would
family
agree with
member.
that. Oh, sorry, go ahead, River.
I was say we have a family member that has it, and he's showing just signs of like a common cold.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's also what the vaccines are for, right? To boost your antibodies, your immunity.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought the vaccine like takes out everything.
No.
I'm
No.
pretty sure that's what I read.
No. So from what I know, and this is how flu vaccines work as well. Obviously,
Yeah,
flu
but this
vaccines
isn't
don't
the
get rid
same
of
thing as the
flu.
flu vaccine.
Yeah, I just confirmed. We have a family member that has it, and he's test positive, but he is showing signs of common cold.
Um, I really don't have anybody that I can even say that would be like an example because nobody that I know has gotten it. My sister has gotten it, but she got she got COVID like in the beginning. Not this Omicron variant. Other than that, like my mom and my dad haven't gotten it, thank God. Or have I?
Okay, vaccines work by stimulating your immune system to produce antibodies, exactly like it would if you were exposed to the disease.
Yeah, but this one doesn't do that.
It literally does.
No, it
Yes,
doesn't.
that's
This
what
is
the
a
vaccine
different.
does.
This is a different kind of vaccine.
I just
It
looked it
doesn't.
up. This is according to the CDC for COVID-19.
Which vaccine are we talking about?
COVID-19 vaccine.
Well, what are we arguing about?
That vaccines work by stimulating your immune system to produce antibodies, exactly like it would if you were exposed to the disease. After getting vaccinated, you develop immunity to that disease without just having the disease first. So it does help you produce antibodies to fight it. It just gives you a dead strain of it.
That's a vaccine in general. That's not this one.
It literally, I'm on the CDC
Where are you
website.
reading this? Where are you reading
I'm
this? Because that's
right
not what
here.
it does. This one doesn't do that. It doesn't put the COVID in there. They like came out and said that.
The
It said
MNR,
MR. Yeah, go for it.
the technology takes the protein and it gets your body to fight the protein, but there's technically no live virus.
Yeah, that's what it said. It's dead. Exact vaccine ingredients vary by manufacturer. Pfizer and Moderna vaccines also contain messenger RNA, which is mRNA, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine contains a harmless version of a virus unrelated to the virus that causes COVID-19. This gives instructions to cell in your body to create an immune response.
So one of them's using a dead one, and one of them's using a protein.
Says
I
some
guess.
vaccines contain they contain live weakened viruses. These vaccines produce a response that is the same as an innate lymphatic process. Some replication of the virus after injection increases its effectiveness. These vaccines only require a limited number of booster shots. They can't be given to those who with already a weakened immune system. And common live vaccines include measles, mumps, rubella, chickenpox, rotavirus, smallpox, and yellow fever. The Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine is also a live virus vaccine.
The mRNA vaccines do not contain any live virus. Instead, they work by teaching our cells to make a harmless piece of spike protein, which is found on the surface of the virus that causes COVID-19. After making the protein piece, cells display it on their surface. Our immune system then recognizes that it does not belong there and gets rid of it. When an immune response begins, antibodies are produced, creating the same response that happens in a natural infection. According to the CDC. I will send you their website. But either way, it makes us produce antibodies as if we were fighting it, which is what I said originally.
I'm just
Meep
waiting to
says,
be able to shoot laser beams at my eyes.
Meep says, if it's a, if it is like a common code, why does our government force a vaccine into children and teens? Faces like it's killing everyone that doesn't get it. Probably they're doing that because of the original COVID.
Now, one thing I don't necessarily believe. All right, Minion, I'm going to punch you. One thing that I don't believe, CDC just released on Friday that Omicron, if a kid is infected with Omicron, then later in life, they're more susceptible to diabetes. But at this point, it's like, how do you know that? Like that, I'm not quite sure I believe, because Omicron has only been around for a few months. Like, I don't know how they could know that.
They can't.
But I do think that there are still like long-term effects with getting COVID, even if you end up all right. I'm sure it's less with Omicron, but I think, and again, we don't have enough proof of this, but I do know people that have had the Omicron. At least they got it recently, so I would imagine it's Omicron.
I think, yeah, it's better to get Omicron than Delta. We know that for sure.
Yeah, is Delta even still around?
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
sure it is.
Pretty sure for
It
sure.
is, but I don't think you can have Omicron and Delta at the same time. So
Diseases, something like that just doesn't go away in like within a 2 or 3 year span. It takes a little bit longer. So it's
Meep,
still gonna be around.
cite your source on that.
Sure.
If you're just gonna say that, you need to cite a source.
There's currently more than
I-
doubled the cases of fully
So-
vaccinated hospitalized and non-vaccinated. They
so
will still
Meep
be
may be
blaming.
right. Let me see what I can find because our statistics here are different.
See, I'm not gonna lie. That might be closer to truth, just because of everybody going on vacation and then catching something and then coming back.
Well, and also you have to realize that more people are vaccinated than not, right?
Yeah, that's why I would assume that maybe that might be true. He sent me the link.
But I would say if you take a percentage of people who are vaccinated and then the people who are unvaccinated, and you just look at it like that, I would imagine that a percentage of unvaccinated is higher than the percentage of vaccinated.
So he's sending me from, it looks like covid19.ontario.com or
There's a
.ca.
bunch if you Google it.
Hospitalizations by vaccine status. Weekend and holiday reporting due to incomplete weekend and holiday reporting. Vaccination status for hospital and ICU admissions is not updated on Sundays, Mondays. Okay, so in the hospital,
Meep.
but not the ICU.
Meep, they're not immune. That's not what the vaccine does. It doesn't make you immune to COVID. That's such a common misconception that still blows my mind. That people think the vaccine makes it so that you never get
Yeah,
COVID. Like, that's not it.
yeah. A lot of I've actually been wondering.
I still
about
don't understand the reason to get it, to be honest.
the vaccine.
Yeah.
It's just so you don't get it's so you're not susceptible to severe symptoms. So like they ask you to get the flu vaccine once a year, right? Now that's just so in the off chance that you get the flu that one year you don't have the vaccine, and that flu turns into pneumonia, turns into a lung issue because you never know with your well, yeah, but you never know with your body how your body's going to react at that moment. Like, you
Yeah,
might be
and
good
I-
one year, you got the flu, all your life you got the flu, right? Every year, and you're fine. And then that one year, your body just is not able to handle your immune system, and it starts failing on you.
I mean, for me, it's just an added layer of protection. Like, I don't know how my body's going to fight off COVID. I don't think I'm the healthiest person in the world. I don't know what underlying health conditions I have. So I'd rather be safe than sorry.
The way they taught me in medical school, vaccines are not to. It's not something like you're prevented from getting it ever again, or that year that you have the vaccine. It's really just so it prevents you from having severe underlying or severe issues due to maybe underlying issues. Now, like for you, example, Hammer, you might be fine where you never have to get the vaccine because you're healthy, you're fit, you never really need it. Like the flu's not going to kick your ass that bad. Or someone like me who's like fat as fuck, the flu might just fucking put me in a pneumonia state because of my underlying issues like high blood pressure and shit like that. So maybe I need the vaccine more. Now it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna get the flu, just means that vaccine is gonna at least help me when I do fight the flu off. That's really what that's most vaccines. They're there to assist your immune system.
I guess I get that if you wanted to do it, but
Yeah.
then I guess I don't understand people saying that people are being selfish for not getting it
Because
because it doesn't.
Because this has been politicized. A vaccine, I don't feel like should have to be politicized. If you want to get it, that's fine. Now, in the case that we're dealing with a pandemic, it's a little bit better if everybody were to get it because it stops people from dying very quickly from a disease that may be a little bit more deadly, and two, it may stop the spread of it, or at least stop or slow down the spread of it. So that's really why I think people wanted like more people to get it in the beginning. I can understand with the Omicron, if it's not as deadly, maybe you don't need it, maybe you do. It really depends on like how you view the statistics and how you interpret it. But like in the beginning, I understand why everybody was like, you need to get the vaccine. if you're going outside not vaccinated, not wearing a mask, it's selfish. It actually is. It's the same way if like if I have the flu and if I go into work,
mask
right,
and all
and I got
that
the
makes
flu
sense.
and I get everybody else sick, that's a little selfish of me. Like I shouldn't. Well, and at least and let's talk. I'm not talking in America, because in America they'll force you to work if you're sick. But we're in Swedish, right? We're in Sweden, where they give you like time off when you're like sick and everything. You don't got to worry. If you're sick, you can stay home. You can recover.
Right.
If I say, nah, I want to get my money or whatever, and I go in sick as a dog and get everybody else sick, that's a little selfish of me. Like
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's what I think. That's what they meant in the beginning. Like, if you're going out non-vaccinated in the beginning with no mask, and just thinking like this shit is not like gonna fuck with you, then you get it and start spreading it to people who may be more like susceptible to like death because of underlying issues, and that's a little selfish. I understand that.
Yeah, I see. I'm more mad at people who don't wear masks than people who don't get vaccines. Vaccines, like, it's obviously more serious than wearing a mask, but a mask is just putting a filter on your face. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not hurting you. It's not hurting anyone else. You're not breathing in your own air the entire time, contrary to some people's belief. It's just an air filter that helps protect other people as well as semi helps protect you.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I don't like wearing the mask, but like
Yeah,
it doesn't bother me to put the fucking thing
I
on.
hate wearing the mask, but I understand why you need to. Like, I was in the hospital and barely able to breathe because I have to have the mask on the whole time. But like, I understand why I need the mask. But like, Steve sent me a statistic. After Delta became the most common variant, fully vaccinated people had reduced risk of 5 times infection, 10 times hospitalization, 10 times death. After Delta became the most common variant.
I can't find any solid numbers on the deaths numbers of vaccinated versus unvaccinated, and it bothers me.
I don't think we're gonna know really, because just the fact that it's been politicized is like I feel like there's gonna be some states that are not gonna fully come out. Like, for
They're just
instance,
not going to do it.
right here in Florida, the governor refuses to give us a statistic on how many deaths there are in the ICU right now. He just does not want to give that information out. Like, we're asking the CDC locally, and he's telling them to not do that. Local hospitals, telling them to not provide the information to like press, like how many like people that are later dying and shit. Like, he's keeping all those statistics away from like the press, because we don't know like if it's worse, if it's bad, and like it doesn't. He's in a political year where he's in like an election year, or I don't know what he's always fighting for a seat because it's Florida. One thing you do wrong, they're gonna just like fucking vote you out. But yeah, he's like, and that's probably in other states that are happening right now. Like, they're just like not willing to.
How can your governor tell the CDC not to provide the statistics?
Welcome to America.
Because he's Florida. We're in Florida.
Like, although it's a government,
No, the
organization,
CDC.
they're not independent.
Yeah, no, the CDC will still come out with it. He's still like on camera asking them not to, which is telling. You know what I mean? Like, why are you telling the CDC not to inform us of something?
I mean, this is the same guy who had 800,000 at-home testing kits and let them sit in a warehouse till they expired.
Really?
Yep. Yes,
That's
sir.
a waste.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they were gonna expire here and they just sent them home with the kids? Like,
Yep. Nope. We
Meep
just didn't want to get them
said,
out.
Meep said, I heard a rumor that the Floridian governor got COVID after not believing it. Not a clue. No, we don't know if he has COVID right now. The rumor is that he has COVID right now, because in the past couple days he's been doing press conferences and like he has looked really sick. So a lot of people are saying, yeah, he most likely may have COVID. Like, he's showing a lot of symptoms. Like, his face is flushed. He's coughing like crazy during his press conferences, and he's like breathing very heavily, like he's like gasping for air. So it's like, that's not normal, right? And we just don't know because he doesn't want to get tested.
You know what was crazy to me is I think this was after we did our last podcast. Trump came out and was like, yeah, vaccines are great. Everyone should get vaccinated.
And they ridiculed
like,
him.
Yeah, and then they all booed him. And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's become bigger than Trump.
Jesus.
This is something that has gone way past Trump. That if Trump goes against it, he'll get dragged under the water with it.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, did you hear like Trump wants to obviously run again? And Biden was like, I'm interested in running, but if Trump runs, I'm running. It's like, please don't. You will
Yeah.
lose. You
Yeah.
are going to lose. Like, let's
So,
not
Yeah,
attempt
I
to meet
don't
again.
know if Biden would win that.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if
He won't.
Biden knows where he is.
Also true. He does seem like a lost old man half the time.
I'm
I don't-
already
I don't really
pissed that he's telling everybody they got to pay back their student loans. It's like, fuck, man.
I
Not
least
to
he's delayed
mention
that.
the
burst anyone's bubble, but if Trump runs again, he may win.
Yeah, no, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
he might
saying.
win.
Especially against Biden.
not to
But yeah.
mention the taxing of Venmo over $600.
Jesus.
It's official. They're going to be taxing Venmo, PayPal, and any other money sending services. There was another one they named.
Is it Zelle?
Cash App, maybe? Cash App? Well, Zelle is kind of through a banking service, so that'll be taxed anyway.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
But it's not just if you have $600 in there, it's for transactions adding up to $600 throughout the year.
Oh my God.
I wonder if because like they kind of treat it like a bank. Some people like Cash App, you can get a card now. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
I
Some of my
think it's
students have
because
one.
people just mark sending to friends and family, and some businesses are avoiding
paying taxes.
getting taxed. Yeah.
I feel like $600 is too low of a limit, though. You know?
They keep lowering the limits more and more of all these things of what has to be recorded and what doesn't. It's almost ridiculous.
So does that mean you could send like $599 on each service and not be taxed?
Once in a year, yeah. Once
Oh, it's yearly. It's a yearly limit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what he said.
over time. Because you could do that with anything though. It's the same whatever the tax bracket is of like money you can make and not be taxed on. If you make just under it, you don't have to file taxes that year.
Oh,
That makes sense.
yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean,
People will get away with it, and part of the challenge, do you want to tax something like that because the government wants their cut? Well, people are just gonna find other ways around it, or people are gonna realize that the government wants to tax the lower earning people, but not the rich ones.
I mean, that's capitalism for you.
what I find
like,
crazy still is people getting fucked by the government about them getting all those loans that they were giving out during the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it's like if you had gotten the original 10 grand, you're fine. You know what I mean? The government's not giving a shit about that because those 10 grand was to give away anyway to like everybody who registered for it. You know what I mean? So I got a couple friends that did it and they got their 10 grand. They just like they do kind of have their own business. Like a friend of mine has a business where he does portraits. And he just filed like, hey, I need the 10 grand for my business. Even though he doesn't really do it. He does it more as a side hustle than like his actual business. But like the people they're going after are those people that got the extra incentives. Like they applied for just more than the 10 grand. They got like 100 grand.
Well, yeah.
And
Yeah, there was a bunch you could apply to pay to or get money to pay your employees.
your employees, yeah. And they would put in that like, I got this business when it's really just a little side hustle they do from home, saying they got these many fucking employees. But yeah, they're getting fucked. A couple of people that I know were telling me of friends that they knew that tried to get them to do it, and they didn't. But they had gotten all this money, and they was like all last year just blowing it up. Like moved into a new place. I got the new car and everything, and like I'm hearing from my friends like, yeah, government came for them. Like they got court dates. They're being charged for just like stealing from the government. And it's not looking too good for some people. Like some people are gonna get like maybe like a couple of years.
Should we take a shot to capitalism?
Sure.
Anyone down?
I actually have no liquor, so
On the Smart Not Sober podcast.
I've been broke. This fucking Christmas kicked my ass. And
Are you
then
gonna have to pay hospital bills?
yeah, my insurance, but like I don't have to. My insurance pays for most of it.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, I don't think I have to pay anything. I think I have like a deductible that I'll pay but that's done through my like the amount I pay per month. Just goes to it. Plus, I think how I have my insurance is that it sets aside a certain amount of money every month, and like I didn't go to the hospital not once last year, so like all that money got left aside, so it just goes into like the pool of like whenever I do need to go to the hospital, which I did. So like anything that was paid off would just go there.
Oh, I didn't know it worked that way. That's cool.
Yeah, they have ways of like. There's some like I know Lila had an insurance from one job where they'll give you like a debit card, like a medical debit card, and depending on where you go, you can actually spend it anywhere. So like if you go to the grocery store and they have the pharmacy there, you can just buy groceries, but then say use the card and say it was like for medical purposes. They'll just
I have
use it
that
like
insurance.
Yeah,
It's untaxed too.
and it's a little cool, you know, because then you like get extra money and you don't really have to like only
And it
use it
doesn't
for medical.
expire.
Yeah, it doesn't expire; it just stays there.
River, are you gonna take a shot with us?
Of coffee.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That is drugs. Caffeine is drugs.
Technically speaking. So Soul has like his medical debit card or whatever. They just take 40% of what I make every year as taxes
Oh yeah,
for me to
HSA.
for,
I had
for
an
me to
HSA.
go to a hospital that I can't go to anymore because there's no beds because it's all full of COVID people. So I'd much rather live in the States simply for the taxation benefits, but I wouldn't want to live there for any other reason except less taxes.
So I wonder about the whole ICU bed thing because I had spoken to a nurse when I was at the hospital, and I was asking them about like what's this whole thing about like ICUs always being full. Like that's what I always hear in the news, and they're like it's true, but it's like people come in, they have COVID, and most hospitals have like a mandatory thing where they'll stay like a night or two, just to like so they can monitor them, and they'll go home because their symptoms are not so bad that they need to be like hospitalized. They'll be able to ride it out at home. You know, they're not losing like they go, I guess, based off like oxygen levels and heart rate. Like the one that like how I guess the nurse was telling me. It was like if we start to see your oxygen level go down, see anything wrong with your lungs, you know, that's when we'll say that you need to be like here for longer. Like because we're starting to see like things go wrong.
There's so many like random people who call an ambulance or like go to the hospital for the most ridiculous things. Only reason I know that now is my girlfriend is a paramedic and she tells me all these stories now of like things she goes to pick up or like do, and I'm like, what the fuck? She had some old lady call an ambulance, call 911 to help her with her food.
Oh no. That's so sad. And she gets charged for that. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Alright, we ready?
Yeet.
Alright, 3, 2, 1. Cheers.
Yeah, I imagine some people use. I mean, there's the Karens that just call the fucking police for no fucking reason sometimes. Like that.
There's that dude on what is it? My 600-pound life who was abusing the ambulances.
I think I
Try
seen
to
a.
get-
I think I seen a clip of that somewhere of them
What did
saying
he
that.
do?
He'd always call like the fucking ambulance.
He'd call them and they'd come pick him up and they'd bring him into the hospital, and the hospital would give him painkillers because he's like 700 pounds and his legs hurt to use them, but he's not really using his legs. He just wants painkillers.
Yeah.
And then the one dude who's on that show, the one doctor, is a fucking savage.
Yeah, he calls people
And just
out.
he says it the way it is always. And I'm like, this dude's great. I love it. And he told the guy, he's like, you're not coming in anymore. And if you come in, we're not doing anything for you. And so the guy tried it anyway. And the ambulance picked him up, brought him in. And the doctor was like, what did you guys do? I told you not to bring him here. You have to call me first. You can't bring him to the hospital unless you called me. And they were like, what? And he's like, no, I'm going to talk to your chief, because they have to like get special. They have to call the fire department specifically to get him because he's so big.
Jesus.
So they have to have like a team of people pick him up.
So there was multiple failures. There was multiple people that could have said, yeah, no.
But then he was like, you're not coming in the hospital. You could go home, and these guys aren't taking you back, so you need to call a taxi.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, what?
Damn, they're not even taking him back.
Speaking of hospitals, I'm facing a little bit of a dilemma here. And it's not my am I the asshole, but I'm asking am I the asshole in this situation. So I've talked about my dad's health a little bit before. He needs a liver transplant. Not right now, but he's going to be put on the list to get one. And my stepmom had said at their like last hospital checkup that he might be asking me or one of my siblings for a living donor donation. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't really want to do that, but all right. So when I went home, he mentioned it once jokingly to me and my brother, like at our Christmas brunch, like our whole family was there, and he just kind of jokingly mentioned it. So then I get a text message a couple days ago from my stepmom, and she sends me a picture of this living donor information guide thing. And she's like, your dad said you were asking for resources on being a living donor. And I was like, he literally never talked to me about it. He didn't ask me about it. Like, he never said anything. And I started to be like kind of weird about it. 'Cause I'm like, I don't really know what to do. I don't really want to do that, but I guess I'll look into it. First, I need to test my blood to see if I have the same blood type, because maybe I'm not, and then I can't do it. So I got like an at-home blood test, and I tested my blood this week, and we're the same blood type. So I'm like, shit, I can't use that excuse. But I don't want to do it. It's a 6-week recovery time for me because I'm losing part of my liver, which means
So
for
it's
6 weeks, I'm bedridden.
it's done. You don't want to do it. Period. You're not comfortable with it. That's the end of the discussion.
I know, but I
There's
just
no
feel
further
so guilty
discussion.
because what kid doesn't want to like help their parent, you know?
Well,
I guess it comes down to why you don't want to. You know
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
like-
Not that you have to tell us, but
I'm pretty sure I've read an Am I the Asshole about this thing.
I just,
Yeah.
number one, I don't feel comfortable with the surgery because there could be complications for me. Number one. Number two, I will go absolutely crazy if I have to lay in a bed for 6 weeks, which will probably be longer because I don't eat the best and I don't take care of myself as much. Plus, I would have to quit smoking before and obviously during, which doesn't seem super fun to me. Obviously healthy, but not something I really want to do. And then it's so stupid, but I won't be able to drink. Like but the biggest thing is that'll take up my entire summer. And by the time I'm recovered, it's time to go back to school.
Yeah, you should definitely go with the I'm not comfortable more than I just want to drink.
Well, here's the problem with that. My dad likes to guilt me into doing things. He always has. I always fall for it because I am a people pleaser. So if I tell him outright no, I won't do it, he will hold it against me. He will. Like, I know that he will, which sucks, but I talked to my mom about it today and she agreed that that's what he would do. So I'm thinking I might just lie because I haven't told him my blood type yet. I might just lie and tell him we're not compatible. But I just feel immensely guilty.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're, like, ultimately, if you know that you're not going to do it, it's, you just tell them I'm not comfortable and you just stand your ground.
Yeah, and I hate lying. I do, but I just can't tell him that I don't want to do it. It would break his heart. Our relationship would never be the same. Like, I don't know. But I'm mad at the way he went about it. Like, he tricked my stepmom into thinking like I was interested and manipulated her, which in turn was trying to manipulate me. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I don't. Like, it scares the shit out of me.
That should be the end of it.
So I think I'm just going to lie to him.
Well, he technically did lie to you about it, so.
Yeah, I don't want it to ruin our relationship, which it will.
Why does he need the transplant?
He just has a bad liver. He has diabetes. I don't know. He just has a lot of underlying problems. He's not an alcoholic in any way, but he just has a really bad liver. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm still going to think about it a little bit more, and I'm going to wait until he brings it up to me because I'm not just going to say anything. Like, if he brings it up to me, then we'll talk about it, but I don't know. I just feel guilty, but I really don't want to do it. And it's my body, like if something goes wrong and
So,
I don't know.
This is like worst case scenario, but think about it this way. You get it done, right? You're in recovery. You get an infection. You then get sepsis and then you die. That's one of the more rare occurrences of complications of surgery,
Right,
but
but it
it's
could
not
happen.
outside. It's not outside the realm of possibility,
Yeah.
right? It's not so rare that you can say, well, it's not really a concern. It's a possibility, especially nowadays. There's like tons of superbugs that like bacteria that they can't kill with antibiotics that you could catch in a hospital environment.
Yeah. And it's
So,
major surgery. Like,
yep.
and he could just get it from a dead guy, you know? Like, why put my
Why?
life in danger when he could just get it from a dead guy?
I was gonna say, why can't he?
He
Well, if
can.
he can,
He'll be put on the list, but this way, if it's a live person, it's 85% chance that it'll work. If it's a dead person, it's 80% chance that it'll work.
You know how the good daughter thing to do? You kill somebody who's a good match for him, and then you bring the dead body.
that was
Hey, Dad.
on an episode of something. Fuck, I was watching something where this guy was doing that. He was what he was doing for his daughter. He was killing people, and then
Oh, on the list
somebody,
that were on the list ahead of her.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then somebody got the organ of the person that he killed, who was on the list ahead of her. So he killed the person who was on that list.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it was Criminal Minds, maybe, or something.
I think it was Criminal Minds.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was a good one.
I wonder what happens if you do that and they find out. Do they just take your daughter off the list as like a punishment?
I would hope not, because it's not her fault, right?
Yeah, but they're
She
like,
didn't
all
ask her
right,
to do
man,
Kind of like
here's
a weird thing, right?
here's your punishment. We're gonna take her
She
off.
can't
your
have
list.
this one.
I mean, I guess they'd have to, because otherwise people would be doing it constantly, right?
Well, it's the same thing with like paying. Like if you put money towards it, or if you pay a donor, then you get taken off the list.
Yeah, also true. Get a black market liver. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated on what I decide and if he brings it up to me. But it was just on my mind today because I talked to my mom about it.
Yeah, that.
I would say you're not comfortable with it, don't do it.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I would say too. Like,
They should respect your wishes.
same.
Yeah. And it's not like that's the only solution. You know, he could ask some of my other siblings or get it from a dead guy. Like, I'm not the only hope, you know? If I was the only hope, I think I would consider it more, but I'm not.
I think that's the big thing for me is that like you're not the only option.
Yeah. I'm just the one he can manipulate more than anything else or anyone else. So that's a shitty part. Meep, we are going to play some party games after. River was already talking about that earlier. If anyone wants to join us.
I wanted to play Among Us, but
I don't play Among Us.
He doesn't play it.
I don't play it because I don't like lying. It stresses me out. I don't need to be stressed out when I'm playing games. No Among Us. No.
It's a game.
Yeah, and I'm fine with you guys playing it.
You never played Clue before or something?
Clue, you don't lie to people.
Kind of have to. Yeah, you kind of have to.
In Clue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you just guess the murder weapon in the place, in the person. You don't.
But you
know
can
it
give
for sure.
fake clues to people.
Monopoly, you definitely lie. You ever
When do you lie in Monopoly?
When you have all the fucking stuff and somebody says, "Dude, are you gonna like take all my money when I land your shit?" Nah, I'm not gonna take all your money.
I'd never do that.
Then the moment they land on it, you take all their money.
But I would never say that.
And you're playing Monopoly wrong.
Yeah.
Do you win in Monopoly?
I'm
sensing you.
Next question.
I'm sensing you lose at Monopoly a lot.
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't played since I was like 12, so I can't tell you.
Have you ever gone through a whole Monopoly game?
No.
When I was younger.
You've never gone through a full Monopoly game, River?
Oh, I have all the time.
Okay.
I usually win at Monopoly. Are you kidding me?
I think I've gone through more Monopoly games that we've end up not finishing than finishing. Because they just last so long.
Yeah, they could go on forever.
Dude, I had one that lasted like 2 days. We were in Christmas at like my aunt's house, and like we were just chilling there. We started it like on the 23rd. and it didn't finish until the 26th. We just left the board there. Came back, left, came back, left.
I thought you said slaps. I was like, what? What is that code for? Just come back and slaps, you know?
My sister was telling me about a cardboard game she wants to like find for her daughter, and I forgot what it was, but she said it was like a bubble in the middle, and I remember playing that. Like you
Trouble?
press the bubble.
Trouble. Yeah, trouble.
Was it trouble?
Trouble.
Trouble.
Yeah, you press the
When
bubble.
you
It
guys
had the
get
dice in
into
there.
Trouble. It's fun getting into trouble.
Yeah. Trouble.
She told me
It's
like
come out. It's come out as a different name, different times.
it was trouble back then, though, right?
Yeah. I think it still is now.
Not Bop It. Something else. There's
No, Bop is a thing.
Wow, yeah, Bop It
now
was.
there's
fun.
another version of it. It's like Pop It or something.
Who knows?
I remember. I want to get my my niece that. Remember that toy where it had the pull it.
That's a Bop It.
Is that the Bop It? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like. I've been looking online trying to find how I can get it.
Well, they've added new things to it.
Yeah,
Oh, I
there's like
bet, yeah.
complex ones now.
Yeah, I bet.
There's one where it like tells you to sing.
Ew.
Really?
I know there's one that's like that always cracked me up.
Sing what? Anything?
I don't know. Probably just a tune. It says sing. It probably just picks up if you make a noise or not.
I would just scream. I'd be like, ah!
I'm surprised they haven't like kept going with like the little keychain pets that you like the dino pets.
Tamagotchis?
Yeah, Tamagotchis. Like
Glow just ordered one on Amazon. You can
no,
check
but
it
I mean
out.
like I'm surprised it hasn't like evolved and become something bigger. I mean I guess
So
I guess your
I
phone is
saw-
that it. Like I guess.
I saw a meme that said Fitbits are basically Tamagotchis, but you're the Tamagotchi.
You're the Tamagotchi.
Oh my god, that's funny.
That's funny. I
That is
haven't
pretty
had
funny.
I haven't had a Tamagotchi in since I was like in middle school.
Get one on Amazon.
I think Tamagotchi died out once Pokemon became like a game you could play.
Game
I
Boy
could
Advance,
see that.
yeah.
You know?
Game Boy Color came out.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Nah, I got Pokemon. I don't need Tamagotchi."
Yeah, I could see that.
I forgot. I remember I had my friend had the Dino one, right? And it was like a Dino egg. It was yeah. I remember he lent it to me because he was going like on vacation. I had to make sure it stayed
You
alive.
need to feed it.
Yeah. I was like, "You
I
can't
had
take
a-
it with you?" And he's like, "Nah, man, I can't take it with me."
I had a Toy Story one.
But what was the Tamagotchi for the Toy Story one? Or what was
It was
the pet?
just like it looked like the Buzz Lightyear spaceship.
So are you taking care of the ship?
No, you're taking care of
Buzz.
like the little green men, like those little
Oh.
aliens.
The green toys.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any more Toy Stories coming out? Or did they finally finish
There's a
that
Buzz
shit?
Lightyear movie coming out.
Oh, okay. So now they're doing
Live
this.
action?
Yeah.
No, it's
Live
not
action? Who would play
I
Buzz?
mean, it's still animated.
Vin Diesel would play Buzz.
Family.
Yeah, family.
Imagine they make it like a rip off of Fast and the Furious with its Toy Story. They're all in race cars, fucking Hot Wheels.
Oh my. Could you imagine if they did another Toy Story, but it's like a Vin Diesel toy?
Oh,
It's like
man.
the Fast and the Furious
left
cars.
alone. And Annie ignores it, and Vin Diesel cries.
Family.
No, he wouldn't say family anymore. He'd say Andy.
Andy. It's all about Andy.
It's all about Andy.
God.
Any
I
other
saw-
childhood toys that you loved?
I saw a TikTok where a guy was like making fun of the writing staff that come up with the Fast and the Furious movies, and he's like, he does a line of coke, and he's like, "All right, give me a wrestler's name." They're like, "Batista." "All right, give me a character that died that we could bring back."
Oh,
Gal
I
Gadot.
love that.
You saw that
TikTok guy.
one, and he like they
he
just
does a bunch like that.
yeah. He just gives him like he's like, "All right, give me somebody who died, but we can bring it back." "Oh, Gal Gadot." "All right, give me a car that you would never hear, fucking cat car." It's like, all right, so what we're gonna do? Vin Diesel comes back. He has a cat car. Where the Batista is gonna be his like long lost cousin, and then they bring back Gal Gadot. It's like, let's make some money, bitches.
He does a bunch of videos like that, not just with Fast and Furious, but just like anything. He's like, all right, let's make
And
money.
there's like, what's another word? He's like, what's another word for family? Relatives. And then it's like at the end, Vin Diesel says, I don't have any relatives. I got family.
Did you see that The Rock called him out for trying to manipulate him into doing another movie?
How did he try to manipulate him?
No.
So Vin Diesel a couple months ago made a post like publicly to The Rock that was like, you need to come back and finish, the series. Do it for Paul Walker. Do it for
Oh.
family. Blah 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 blah.
Do it
He
for
called him
family?
out.
He said that?
Yeah, I think so. And,
No, they live by that mantra. Vin Diesel lives by
Yeah.
that shit now.
and The Rock had already told everyone prior that he was not coming back. Like it was a done deal. So then a few months passed by, and The Rock finally spoke out about it, and he was like, that was just pure manipulation. That wasn't cool. I told you I'm not coming back. How dare you bring Paul Walker and other people into it? Like, just stop, basically. I was like, oh,
Wow.
shit. Yeah. So The Rock will not be
Well,
back.
they're not cool at all. Like I heard
No,
that
they're
like
not.
when they're on set, like sometimes they couldn't even be on set together, that they had to like shoot one and then shoot the other and then like put it
What?
together like in the editing. There was like
Really?
stuff in the contract for the fight scenes that they couldn't like beat each other. Like somebody couldn't come out victorious. That's why like every fight scene, it was like it always ended like kind of a draw.
With The Rock and Vin Diesel?
Yeah, if you go back, like it always ends like somebody
Yeah.
stopped it or like they just kind of stopped in the middle, and it's like because there's a contract that not one person
It's just one
can
beat the other.
only would like. I think Vin Diesel even had where The Rock can only hit him so many times on the screen. Like he can't get
Oh.
more hits than him, or he can't look
Wow.
like he's just overpowering Vin
Winning?
Diesel. Yeah,
They gotta look the same strength.
yeah, they gotta
Because,
look like
you
they're
know.
equal.
Family.
I guess that's just the contract that they wrote with The Rock.
I assumed that was like a thing for the show because like or the movie because they kind of did the same thing with Jason Statham. But then they did the Hobbs and Shaw.
Apparently, they all have some shit like that. Like even like during the Expendables, like everybody had like a certain amount of like a contract where how many scenes they can get. You know, somebody can't look like better than the other. Obviously, like Sylvester Stallone, I guess, was the lead actor, so like he got like first dibs on
He's the
everything.
producer. He's
Oh,
the
was
one
he?
that does
Yeah.
it.
So,
Yeah, he's. So.
but I've heard that like with like the Fast Furious, the Furious, and like Expendables, like all these like really like action movies, like just pure like action ones, are like they have like stipulations because like their personas can't like take a hit or whatever.
Yeah.
I find that hilarious.
I wonder if it's just like what's it called? How like you're harder to cast after certain things happen. If it's just like trying to make things believable, you know?
I
Like
bet.
for future things.
I wonder if when John Cena went there, he's like, no, whatever, I'm good to do whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Fuck me up.
Dude, if I was The Rock, I don't even know why he cares. He was in WWE. You know how many people he lost to that he should have never lost to in retrospect?
God.
Like, and you're complaining about Vin Diesel? If Vin Diesel beats you, it's part of the movie.
You realize that wrestling is fake, right, Soul?
Yeah, but if so is the
But that's
fucking
what he's-
that's the fucking
That's what
movie
he's
too.
saying.
Vin Diesel and The
He
Rock
already lost there.
aren't really fighting.
I thought that the Fast and Furious movies were all like real scenes. Like it was a real documentary. I thought.
Yeah.
So I thought I didn't know I was muted, and I kept trying to read it, and I was like, why do you guys keep interrupting me? And then I realized I did. So here's Vin Diesel's post. My little brother Dwayne, the time has come. The
Damn,
world
He said
awaits
my little
the
brother?
That's so disrespectful, bro.
The world,
My
the world
little
awaits
brother.
The finale of Fast 10. As you know, my children refer to you as Uncle Dwayne in my house. There is not a holiday that goes by that they and don't send well wishes. But the time has come. Legacy awaits. I told you years ago that I was going to fulfill my promise to Pablo. I swore that we would reach and manifest the best fast in the finale that is 10. I say this out of love, but you must show up. Do not leave the franchise idle. You play a very important role to play. Hobbs can't be played by no other. I hope that you rise to the occasion and fulfill your destiny.
All right, man. Vin Diesel's been doing too many Marvel movies. Does he think he's Thor Odin's son? Like, what the fuck is this?
Right? Like, it was very unhinged.
Just write him out.
Jesus Christ.
It's kinda
Okay,
funny.
so here's The Rock's response.
Shut the fuck up. That's what his response was.
He said, this past June, when Vin and I actually connected, not over social media, I told him directly and privately that I would not be returning to the franchise. The Star noted that he was very surprised by Diesel's Instagram post on the matter, especially since they had been firm yet cordial during their discussion about the decision not to return to the franchise.
Firm yet
Vince-
cordial.
Vin's recent public post was an example of his manipulation. I didn't like that he brought up his children in the post as well as Paul Walker's death. Leave them out. We had spoken months ago about this and came to a clear understanding. It's unfortunate that this public dialogue has muddied the waters. Regardless, I'm confident in the Fast universe and its ability to consistently deliver for the audience. And I truly wish my former co-stars and Drew members the best of luck and success in the next chapter.
Lila says that there is it Fast 10 going to be finally like I guess over. Like
That's what it seems like.
It's not.
I don't know. That's the way Vin Diesel made it
We're
sound
gonna
in the last
have
chapter.
like probably of that, but they're gonna come out with more Fast and the Furious. It'll just be like
like
the newer cast.
spin-offs.
No, it'll
like-
just be the continuation. Like you know how Naruto and then Boruto. It's just gonna be like Vin Diesel's son.
The
It's
next
the new
one.
the next one, the next Fast and the Furious.
But it'll be
They're just
called,
gonna.
it'll be called Speedy and Mad.
They'll just
No.
continue with Tokyo Drift. Follow that kid.
That kid is a grown adult now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it's further in the future.
What I don't understand, like, I got a funny feeling that Dwayne will be back. He says he won't.
No,
be, but
he
I got-
won't.
They give him enough money, he'll
No.
be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. It's the publicity stunt, man.
We're
But,
talking about it.
It all depends on how much they're willing to give Dwayne.
Yeah. Well, we're
You
talking
give
about
you
this
give
stuff.
enough you give enough money to Dwayne, who like give enough money to any of these actors, they'll do it. Unless they really just do not give a fuck, then yeah, I can understand that. But I feel like if they say we'll throw you like 30 mil, 40 mil, 100 mil, I'm like yeah, fuck yeah, got to do one movie. I just don't get Fast and Furious anymore. I don't know how we've gotten here with everything. They had like a space car like last time. Like I don't even know.
I'm
We were-
proud to say I've never seen them.
We were drifting in the fucking deserts. Fast and the Furious 1. Now we're fucking getting launched into space. Fast and Furious 9.
I mean, you run out of ideas at a certain point, though. Like, you kind of have to do that shit.
What I want to
Like,
know
it?
is
Pretty basic?
this is what I want to understand. How the fuck did everybody become like elite, like fucking Marvel fighting characters all of a sudden in Fast and the Furious? When I saw the 9 trailer with John Cena, Vin Diesel and John Cena are fighting like it's Captain America and fucking Iron Man, like through the buildings, through the streets. They're jumping on
Yeah.
cars, and I'm like, when did these guys get so elite, like level
Well,
of fucking combat? Like,
It started in the one where they brought like Tony Jaa in, and then when he fought The Rock, I think one of them like blocked a sledgehammer with their forearm or something wild.
But here's the thing: like, I can get like two guys fighting in a warehouse or in Brazil or something, like with items. That's fine. The fucking jumping from car to car and shit, like you're a fucking Black Panther. Like, what the fuck was that? I was looking at that. I'm like, dude, they had a full action sequence where they went through London, like from car to car hopping, jumping off
Dubai
of
one?
yeah, the Dubai. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, how
I do
am I-
remember the scene. I do remember the scene though where they blocked the sledgehammer with his forearm, and there's no way
Yeah.
that forearm would have been shattered.
I don't remember if it was a sledgehammer or if it was a piece of rebar with like giant concrete on it, but like he blocked it and I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Don't get me wrong, it's great to watch. When I saw it, I was like, "Holy shit!" That they like, are they serious right now? But it's just so hard to believe, like that we've gotten that far. These guys were running from bullets in the first Fast and the Furious, from like Asian mafia guys that were trying to get
The
them.
triads.
The triads,
That blew up the
right?
car.
That blew up their car, and now they're jumping from car to car, dodging bullets and shit, doing hand-to-hand fucking combat, knocking people out with one hit. Like the fight where the sister and the girlfriend of Vin Diesel, and they went like 2-on-2 against two like Russian hitmen in the trailer,
When
and
they fought Ronda Rousey.
yeah, oh yeah, that one. Oh my god. Oh my god. I get Ronda doesn't have hands, but in the real fight, Ronda would have just put an armbar and that was just fucking yanked that shoulder apart. I don't know, man. I don't mind. It's fun to watch. I really love watching it. It's just when you first see it, you're just mind blown that the writers had the balls to do that shit. I can't wait to see what 10 is gonna be, because like it's just every movie it gets crazier and crazier. Like what was in the last one? The like the big shot at the ending was like they're fucking like hooking their cars from cliff to cliff like they're Spider-Man. Like they're just fucking just like on different cliffs trying to the car is literally trying to outbeat some fucking fighter jet. Like they're trying to catch, and they're like, I don't need a road. I got fucking whips. Like, and they're whipping.
Family.
Yeah. And they're just fucking whipping their car from cliff to cliff with some like metal hook.
Dragging the safe.
That one was pretty cool. I could kind of see that happening.
What?
Like if you're like, I don't know, that's not too out of the realm for me. It's the fucking Spider-Man car that's fucking
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Dude, if you see the like there's like it's like a janky bridge and two cliffs, and they're like death is imminent if they fall. Like and they're like, don't worry. You see a hook get on top of the car and they're just swinging like from mountain to mountain, and I'm just like, what is this? Like taking on like an F fighter jet that has like ultra fucking missiles and machine guns, and they're beating the fighter jet with a car. Like, what?
Was it Hobbs and Shaw, or was it Fast and the Furious where The Rock goes back to his like island?
Oh, that one was hilarious. Hobbs and Shaw was a straight comedy.
I love that.
First of all, they made Idris Elba Superman for whatever reason. Like, he's like, they never explained it. He just starts outrunning people like he's Captain America. He's launching people into the air.
They never fully talked about
it, he's just like,
doesn't feel pain.
He's like, yeah, I'm Black Superman, I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this guy come from? And then fucking The Rock and Jason Statham are just like kicking everybody's ass. Like everybody's on like player 1 and they're on player 100. Oh my god, I love those movies. It's hard. It's crazy to watch them at first because it's just like, god damn, what the fuck am I
really
watching?
liked the first Fast and the Furious, and everybody gives me shit for it, but I thought it was great.
I thought the first Fast and Furious was awesome.
Never seen them.
Oh, I want some. I just want.
Add it to your list.
True. Well, I don't know. The reason I haven't watched them because I don't think I'd be into them.
Nah,
action movies, but not like car racing.
Honestly, the first one's pretty good.
Let me tell you, once you okay, let me name them down. Fast and Furious 1, 2, and then what came after 2? Tokyo?
Yeah. It did,
okay,
but it was like not in order.
And that was still racing. Then what was after Tokyo Drift? I'm trying to remember.
The rest of them were just numbers.
But when did it get crazy? Like
Fast 5, then Fast and Furious, not the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. There was at some point where it was like, I think it was right after the Brazilian one where they're like the bank scene and all that. That one was still relatively like not too much. But then after that, I went like into the fucking stratosphere. That's when it's like, it's no longer a racing show. It's just like there happens to be cars in this fucking movie.
Here they are. We've got Fast and the Furious. Too Fast, Too Furious.
There's a point where it becomes a show about customizing cars and it being the fastest car. And then it does not matter. We are doing action agent fucking Jason Bourne shit. Yeah. There just happen to be cars in here now.
There's apparently another one that I've never seen. The Fast and the Furious, the turbocharged prelude to Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
I've never even heard of that.
Never even heard of that, man.
The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Fast and Furious. Los Bandoleros.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. I think it's Fast and Furious, but like in Spanish, but it's coming up here. Spanish for the Outlaws is a 2009 American short film directed and co-written and co-produced by Vin Diesel. It is the second short film in the series. The crew reunites in the Dominican Republic to break Leo Tago out of prison and hijack gas shipments.
I've never seen that movie.
Fast 5, Fast and the Furious 6, Furious 7, Fate of the Furious, F9, Fast and the Furious 10 is scheduled for 2023.
It's just. I'm expecting them to full on have like spaceship cars and they're just beaming each other in space. Like that's what I'm expecting.
They're just going to space.
You know what? No, it's like a race to the moon. It's like, all right, we got to build the best car that gets to the moon the quickest. So it's like that's the next thing. Like,
I don't need a 10-second car.
I need family.
I need to get to space.
You don't need.
I feel like they should take the direction where they keep going out into space and they get sucked into a black
Actually-
hole, and then they get stuck on a planet, and then they have to survive. That I'll watch.
This
Interstellar
Los
meets Fast and the
Bandolero-
Furious.
Yeah.
Cardi B's in the new one.
Of course, Cardi B's on that.
What?
And what's his name came back? Lucas Black, the guy from, and Bow Wow is back.
Yeah, Bow Wow's
Tokyo Drift.
Wow.
Bow Wow's been there.
Has he?
I think he was in 9, wasn't he?
I don't
Was it the
remember.
most recent one,
I feel like they brought him back for 9.
Well, so is Lucas Black.
Bow Wow's the one who posted the fake plane picture, right?
Fake play. Yeah. Wait, what fake plane picture?
He posted a picture. He was like, going on my private jet.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it wasn't?
Like, on
And
an
it was
actual
not.
plane.
Somebody took a picture of him like sitting right next to him. Was like, this motherfucker lying. Like,
So this Los Bandoleros movie just made sense because I didn't understand where these two Dominican Republic dudes came from in the movie.
oh,
Remember
it's-
those guys?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like one
the-
doesn't speak English and one does.
Don Omar, and fucking
Yeah. So
I never fucking understood the fact that they just. It's like
they
they're
just
like
appeared.
no. This I feel like when I first saw them, I was like, did they just need like the Spanish audience? So they just got the one guy that's the most famous at that moment
my
with
God.
reggaeton. Like it wasn't Daddy Yankee, it was Don Omar, and they're like, yeah, let's just get Don Omar. Fuck it. I
Who's
was
this other
like,
guy, Tego?
what is like?
He's
They
a,
don't.
Tego's a Puerto Rican rapper.
Yeah,
Apparently.
yeah.
The other guy.
They have like in the first time movie that they had like fucking 6 scenes, and I'm looking like they just got like the 2 most famous reggaeton artists at the time and said we're
Well-
putting them in fucking Fast and the Furious.
But they're in Los Bandoleros in
Well, now
2009.
they've been
That's
in
what
every
the movie's about.
Well, now they're a part of the fucking like major cast because they've been there for so long.
Yeah, but like that's the one where they introduced them is 2009 because they free them from prison.
They're probably like, listen, man, you're gonna have to give us our show, or we're not gonna join again. You know, give us a movie. You know, you give Rock, you give somebody else a movie, you give us a movie. Huh? Vámonos, vámonos.
Los Bandoleros.
I was, dude. I remember watching that movie with friends, and I'm like, did they just put Don Omar in this shit? when the movie ended, I'm like, I saw Don Omar 4 times in that movie. Why did they just put? Did they just need Spanish, like the Spanish audience? And they're just like, let's put Don Omar in that shit. Everybody knows who that is.
I'm still blown away that John Cena is Dominic Toretto's brother.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. That was a nice little twist. When I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. But then
It's
here's the thing.
Funny because he got like the people who are like on the same level as him in this movie are like 7 times bigger than him in real life.
This is what I didn't understand. Like, and I felt like it was like I was watching like the beginning of like a long series anime where like it's like it starts off with just fucking minimal shit, bro. Like they're just racing cars. Then by fucking episode 45, how come to find out main characters from this rich fucking family that no one knew, his brother's an assassin and shit. What, like John Cena's his brother and he's like a fucking agent of like I don't know who,
A super agent,
super secret agent. Like what? When did the only thing we knew about him is that he had a dad issues. That's it.
that he killed somebody with a wrench.
And then like all of a sudden he's like, yeah, his mother is like she fucking works with James Bond. Fucking his brother is fucking I don't know, the hitman for hire. Like when the fuck were we gonna find this all out? we're in fucking movie 9, and all of a sudden they're going into Vin Diesel's backstory.
Side note, speaking of like Fast and Furious, I was watching Chicago MD, and the Drift King is a doctor in that show, and I can't look at him as anything other than Drift King, DK.
Oh, the guy from Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, he's DK, the actual Drift King. He is the what's it called? He's a doctor in there. And I look at him, I'm like, I'm waiting for him to be like, I'm DK.
Well, he's also. You want to see a movie that really like throws you? Go watch 42, the fucking Jackie Robinson movie. He's one of the pitchers.
What?
You've never seen that?
No.
Okay, you know that movie Jackie Robinson with Chadwick Boseman that he plays what's it called, Jackie Robinson, right? He's one of the pitchers on the Dodgers. Or not the pitchers, he's one of the basemen. It's Drift King. And he's
also Shredder.
Yeah, and he has this fucking he has the fucking most thick Southern accent. Let me tell you something, Jackie. Like, fucking thickest accent. I'm like, holy shit, this guy could act. He's been in a lot of movies. It's funny that people only know him about Tokyo Drift, and he's been in some really like Academy Award winning movies that other people have won awards, and they don't remember him in those movies, but they will remember him in Tokyo Drift.
It's also pretty funny to see like movies and like see people who commonly play roles together, or like see them in stuff before they were in another show and you know them for being together in a different show. Like I was watching King Arthur, and the two guys from Hannibal, the show Hannibal, are in it. Mads Mikkelsen and the Q, whatever his name is, the guy who plays the fucking cop, whatever. Fuck, why do I not remember this now? Hugh Darcy, I think. But he plays Will Graham. They're like two of the Knights of the Round Table in King Arthur years before Hannibal came out.
Okay.
I was like watching King Arthur yesterday while I was at work, or while I was working, because I put on like mindless movies. I was looking, I was like, is that fucking Hannibal? And Will Graham? What the fuck?
I always feel like it's so weird, and I don't do it on purpose, but when I finish a show, sometimes the next show that I'll pick will have an actor or actress from the last show I watched. And it's never planned. It's never like I look them up and see what other shows, but like I'll notice like, oh, I just watched them in the other show.
Do you go off a recommended at all? Because I've noticed that recently.
No.
You know the weirdest person that for me it was the guy in Law and Order Special Victims Unit, the one that Stabler,
the main guy. Yes.
When he left, and then I saw him in Superman, I was like, this is weird. Like I don't see him outside of like the suit and him with Olivia.
He's back now.
Well, now he has his own show, his own Law and Order show.
Which guy?
Stabler from Special Victims. They give him his
Stabler?
own. Yeah, they give him his own Law and Order show.
Have you ever seen SVU?
Oh, yeah. So
he was Olivia Benson's partner.
But then he's also in
Superman.
There's another fucking show that's wild.
Oh yeah, with the fucking dragon.
With the little
dragon.
like unicorn.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird fucking show that he made.
It's Happy.
That one, I saw the trailer. I was like, this is fucking throwing me for a loop.
I watched it. It was funny as shit. I thought it was good. I think it's called Happy.
I feel like
it's on his. Oh, this is movies. That's why TV shows.
I feel like he left. He wanted to.
Yeah, it's called Happy.
He wanted to get into movies, and he did one Superman cameo, like one movie, and he's like, "Damn, fuck this! I'm going back to like fucking TV shows."
He's in a lot of movies. I'm looking at. I saw him. He's in Carriers, Runaway Bride, Fear and Loathing, Harold and Kumar.
Oh, Harold and Kumar.
Marauders.
He was in Harold and Kumar?
Yeah, he's the tow truck driver.
Yeah, the weird one that they have sex with his wife.
Yeah.
Really?
The hot wife.
Yeah.
Stabler.
Yeah.
Was the
truck? He's got tons of makeup on, so you can't really tell. But yeah, that's him, like the weird hillbilly guy who has the super hot wife that they fuck.
Yeah.
I gotta go back and look at that.
Yeah, look it up. It's crazy when I found that out.
He's in a lot of things. He was in Dinosaurs?
Oh, I didn't know that.
His voice, maybe.
Yeah, but who is he?
He's a man of many talents.
You
He
know,
was Spike.
something that I just remembered, like media wise, we were talking about like movies and shit. So there's something, it's anime related, but I just found it like weird that it doesn't happen here. But there's a voice actor in Japan who is currently like voicing like some pretty big characters from like anime shows like My Hero Academia and Tokyo Revengers. And he is dating Lisa, who is like one of the most famous singers in Japan. She's like crazy shows. She's like been doing it for like many years. All her songs always get on like some anime. Like she's like the queen of anime songs because they always pick her songs to be in an anime. Like some of the most iconic animes, like her like song she made is like they're using it as a theme song. And he's dating her, right? I don't know if they're married or not. I think they were. So they just came out that he was cheating on her. Like they found out, and it was such a big scandal that he lost like everything. Like they dropped him from like all his roles. They blacklisted him. They got, yeah. I was like, wait, is that like a thing where that happens? Because like here in the States, fucking celebrities like there's always like some of that they cheat on each other or some shit. But I've never heard of them losing like movie roles and shit. Like it's just what it is, what it is.
Well,
But,
yeah,
like,
most places here are like, oh, it's just publicity, you know?
yeah, over there, no, he lost everything. Like he's been blacklisted from like the anime studios from like voice acting. Like they dropped him immediately and it's crazy because he
I wonder
does
if they don't want to lose the sounds of like her.
I don't know, but like one of the voices he's doing is like Tokyo Revengers, and like they just did season 1. People love the character, and like they already know his voice like as being that character. And like it takes a lot for them to change like a voice actor. Like it has to be something like super severe, or they like have some illness or something, because they'll usually always go with that voice actor. Because once it starts and people are hooked on it, they don't want to
it's just-
change it.
That's the guy.
Yeah, that's the guy. Like that's. But they fucking immediately when that shit came out, they fucking changed that shit. Like he's gone. Like there's for season 2, they're already remaking. Like they got a new guy that's gonna redub all his fucking his voice acting that he did already. And I was just like, oh, that never happens here. I've never heard of an instance where a celebrity couple cheats on each other and they just fucking lose like all their movie roles
But
and all this shit.
You also have to understand there's a cultural difference.
True.
And
Yeah,
that's
I
a
guess-
huge
Yeah,
difference.
I guess that's like bringing shame.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shame.
Shame.
Boo this man.
For shame.
But yeah, no, I was just found that crazy. Like he's just like dunzo. Like he has nothing. And I guess it's crazy because like you're cheating on like I guess like one of the most influential people to like anime when it comes to music. Like all like there's compilations on YouTube of how many songs of hers have been on anime songs. Like she has like 50 of them, of different animes of them using her song. Like alone on like I think Sword Art Online, like they have like 5 different openings from the 5 different seasons. I think they used 3 of her songs out of the 5. Like it's crazy how many songs they use. I guess she's like when they found out he cheated on her, the anime community was like, nah, fuck it, you're done.
Is
Nah.
she talented?
Yeah, she's super talented. Her songs are really
Oh.
good too. Her songs are really good. You
I'm
should.
glad they
I've
sided
seen
with
I've seen videos of her like in the concerts, and like it's crazy how big her concerts are.
You should do a collab.
I would love to do
Get
a
her on the
collab.
podcast.
Maybe one day.
Write her an email and ask. Is the worst we don't get an answer.
Oh.
Let's
Does
just
she
start.
speak English?
Yeah, no, she's done some interviews where she's spoken English.
Let's just start emailing famous people and see if we can get somebody random on. Just
Right.
to see. Like, the worst they're gonna say is no.
We might get somebody. That's true.
All right, anybody famous wants to be on a podcast? Just because we have famous questions for you that the average person wants to know.
All right.
Like
so
who?
I saw something that made me think of you, Hammered, but I wanted to wait until pod. You saw what Jake Paul said, right?
Yeah,
Oh, what?
How do you feel about that?
What do you say?
I don't think he wrote it.
I'll pull it up.
I don't
Wait.
think that's him typing.
Is
I
that
don't think that.
is it another jab at Dana White in the MMA community?
No.
It was
well,
a jab
yeah.
at Dana, but not at the MMA community.
I saw something Dana put that was pretty funny, and I guess it's in response to that.
Let me find
Is
it.
it the thing where he says he's doing cocaine?
That's Dana White's one, but
Um,
he basically said he will
I can read it.
retire. I'll go for it. Yeah.
So, Jake Paul posted on his Twitter 8 days ago, "Happy New Year, Dana White. Here's a real challenge for you. I will immediately retire from boxing and fight Jorge Masvidal in UFC if you agree to, number one, increase minimum fighter pay per fight to $50K. It's $12K now. Number two, guarantee UFC fighters 50% of UFC annual revenues, $1 billion in 2021. Number three, provide long-term health care to all fighters. You previously said brain damage is part of the gig. Imagine the NFL said that. There are many UFC alums who have publicly said they're suffering from brain damage.
The NFL did say that, and
Yeah.
they hid it for a long time.
You have 5 days to accept and implement the above by March 31st, 2022. Once
Man.
implemented, I will immediately retire from boxing, enter USADA, and agree to a one-fight deal with the UFC to fight Weak Chin Jorge. To all UFC fighters, take a stand, and create value for yourselves and peers. You deserve higher pay, you deserve long-term health care, and above all, you deserve freedom. Support each other. I'm not your enemy. I'm your advocate who selfishly wants to KO all of you and make big bank. Which we can all agree this was a PR stunt. He knew this would never happen,
All I'm hearing
there's
is
no way.
he really doesn't want to fight Jorge.
right?
What do you think about the fight, the last one? I'm finding it really hard to believe that Tyron just got knocked out. I know I saw it, but it's just like
Tyrone. I
don't
said
wanna-
it before they fought the first time. Tyrone's not a boxer.
I know, but I don't know, man.
I did have hope for him. I mean, he hits hard. He does.
I'm not
fight.
trying to be
not saying-
I'm not trying to be that guy. But
It's not a fault. It's not a small feat to beat Tyrone Woodley.
yeah,
in a boxing
but
match.
when I saw that final punch sequence, I just have
It
so
did
many
look like he moved his
questions.
hand out of the way.
I just have so many questions of what Tyrone like. If it's legit, what the fuck was Tyrone doing?
Getting paid.
It looked like it.
I don't know. I'm like both surprised and not surprised. Like I wanted him to win, but I also wasn't like that surprised he lost.
It was they stared at each other. They kind of
And then he
measured,
cracked him.
and then he like for whatever reason dropped his
His right hand just came down.
and he just got cracked, and I'm just like, that doesn't look right. Like I'm like, did he just catch him? Like I don't know. I don't know. I was just that one left me like I mean he knocked him out, but I'm like,
I wish we could just know. I wouldn't even tell anybody if I knew for real and they told me not to tell. I would just like to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be more badly on Tyrone, sorry. Because it's like you're getting paid to get knocked out.
He's retired.
Oh man. I don't know. I want to see. I want
I
to see.
still like everybody keeps saying.
I
or
want to
not
see
everybody,
Jake
him and his
fight somebody.
supporters.
I want to see Jake fight somebody with hands, man. Like,
Well, that's what everybody keeps like giving shit. Like, oh, I beat this guy, and now I gotta beat this guy, and now I gotta beat this guy. And I was like, well, no, I've been saying from the beginning. How about you fight somebody who does what you're doing, or like at least is good at
I think
punching.
we really need to make a campaign that you fight him.
I
The
really
third
want it.
brother. I think you could do it.
I know.
We need enough
will knock
momentum.
that man out.
Yeah.
I want to see him not fight Hammered. I want him to see fight somebody who just got out of amateurs and like, but have been doing boxing their whole life and see how he
Like a boxer.
a boxer
still
that
like a
just
beginner.
got out of amateur.
Pro
Well, they're
debut
not
of some boxer.
yeah, they're not just because you're getting out of amateur, you're not like
You're not brand new.
You're not brand new. It doesn't mean that you're brand new. I'm just saying like you're making your
Right.
pro debut, like you're getting paid. But like
In the eyes though, you're like a beginner in that industry. Like the like the
Yeah.
actual
Yeah, yeah,
professional
yeah.
industry.
Yeah. You've reached a certain level and now you become a pro. Yeah.
I think I need a bigger following to be able to make that happen.
You need a way bigger following. You need a Jorge Masvidal. You need Jorge Masvidal's type following.
I need to hit up Jorge.
But isn't this same Jake Paul?
Can you
who's, like,
really
a
though?
star?
Actually, Jorge is pretty hit. You can pretty much hit Jorge up if he's in Miami.
Be like, Jorge, please, can you just like put me in? Tag me in.
I've seen his videos where he's just walking down in Miami and he's like, people just come up to him to talk to him. He's not like approachable.
I haven't met many UFC fighters who are unapproachable.
Yeah.
Even the Diaz brothers are in Vegas and are kind of the same. They're in the clubs all the time. You run into them in a bar. It's
Yeah,
not hard.
I always hear that the Diaz brothers are kind of chill until you like start some shit with them. Then they're
Oh,
not
they're
chill.
just like
They're not
I
chill.
assume Jorge's the same, but they're just like they just call it like they see it, like they're not famous still, and nobody's gonna know who they are if they stick somebody. But everybody knows who they are.
Yeah. I remember that one time there was a fight. I think it was Khabib people and Diaz's people. That was the funniest thing to say. They're like, yeah, these two groups of people, and I'm looking at the camera. Those aren't two groups of people. Those are like some fucking people that'll wreck your shit.
Those are killers.
I'm like, those are killers, Mike. You better watch out. Like, bro, you're watching fucking lions go at each other right now.
Hammered, who is your dream fight?
You want to know who my real like for me to fight or watch fight? Hold on.
For you to fight, but also to watch. Answer both.
For me to fight, and I don't know that it would really help my career at all. I mean, maybe it would give me some like traction in like numbers of following, but like
Right.
it really wouldn't do much for me. I want to fight the Green Power Ranger.
Oh,
What?
He's a professional fighter now.
Yeah, I know he's a professional fighter. Yeah.
He
didn't
fights
know that.
185. His name's Jason David Frank.
wow.
Yeah, I know. I had
Um,
an argument with him.
He also has a brand of like MMA clothing apparel called Jesus Didn't Tap.
You know, I was at SuperCon and I legit had a little argument with him.
Did you really?
Well, me and a group of people, like, so we were in line to get pictures of Ric Flair, and he was kind of like kind of upset at like the fact that there was like these lines for the wrestlers, and like people were talking to him. Somebody was talking to him, right? And they were going back and forth with him about like he's like, yeah, I'm doing MMA now, I'm training, and the guy's like, do you think that's a good idea? And he's like, what do you mean? They start getting this argument, and he's just like, so how far you want to go? He's like, I want to get into like, I really want to get into like get some real high class fights with some, you know, some famous people. And then me and like a lot of people there were just like, like we're just all like,
he started calling out what's his name? CM Punk.
yeah, I could see that.
And-
I could. That's a good one to call out.
And that was the same time that I was calling them both out. Apparently he is 2-0, 1-0 pro, 1-0 amateur. He hasn't fought since 2010.
2010.
And he's 48.
Yeah.
You know what I think would be cool?
Hmm.
If there was a 3-person boxing fight.
They have 3-person MMA fights.
Yeah, they have
Do they?
that.
Well, yeah, MMA. I think I've seen.
It
but
looks
boxing-
so dumb to watch.
Have you seen
Really?
the Russians have some wild versions
Dude.
of MMA?
Yo, the Russians.
They have the 3 1v1v1. The
no
three
the
people.
the 2v2s.
They have
The 2v2s.
They have the 2v2s. They have tag team. They have teams of 5.
They have
Where-
they have all out brawls. They have like 5
Yeah,
people
but
just
the
go
five-
at each other.
So the 5-on-5, if one of the guys on a team taps out or like gets knocked out, it's now 5-on-4.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And then
It's
if
by
another
elimination.
one, it's 5-on-3. And
They
it
ba-
can go to 5-on-1. Like
They-
that could happen.
They basically took like WWE like matches and made it into MMA fights.
Then they did 2v2 with an obstacle course.
I remember that one, man. That one was so. There was one guy dressed up as Spider-Man and fought. I remember
Yeah.
that. I remember
Yeah,
that.
Spider-Man and Batman. They
Yeah,
were on a team.
I remember that
No,
fight.
Batman and Robin run a team and they fought Spider-Man, but Spider-Man was kind of jacked.
Yeah, it was no
Oh,
Spider
that's
Spider-Man.
funny.
There was in the middle of the fight, Spider-Man kicked the shit out of Robin, bro.
He
Holy
stopped.
shit! Yeah, it's just.
And then the last one they've done that's kind of picked up a little bit bigger than those is medieval night MMA fights.
Oh yeah,
You're
Oh,
fully
cool.
suited
is
up.
that still going on?
Cool.
Yeah, they're in a ring,
I
Oh,
thought they
that's so
stopped.
cool.
fully
Rivers, do you
suited
have
up,
anything to
fully
say about
everything
this?
start fucking going.
Dude, I saw
Rivers-
one of those matches and a guy threw down his shield and full swung on a guy. And he
Yeah.
just put his shield up and he just sent the guy flying, bro. I was like, holy shit.
River,
Yeah.
do you have anything to say about this? You haven't talked in an hour.
It's not something that I know enough about to talk about.
It's
That's the
bar-
problem.
It's barbaric.
It's barbaric.
It's hilarious.
It's fun to
first
watch.
of all,
It's hilarious, yeah.
because some of them are like MMA fighters who just put the shit on, and some of them are like sword experts and stuff like that, like fighting style experts. Because you have a sword and shield, and you can hit with all those things.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, somebody like throws the shield down and just starts beating the other.
Yeah. They don't even give a fuck.
Have you guys ever been to those medieval nights?
Nah.
Really?
I've never been to one.
I haven't been to one, but there's also one I want to go. There's a pirate version of one that I want to go.
I've
to.
been to a pirate one. I've been to a pirate one.
Yeah, I've been to one medieval nights. It was in Vegas. We took a trip when I was like 12 as a family. We went,
I just
and I was
linked
just like
our fucking.
amazed.
I linked our podcast to the group wrong YouTube.
Oh, good.
Here you go.
There was a restaurant that we went to in Orlando when we were doing a soccer tournament, and they were doing a vampire night where everybody was dressed up and acting like vampires.
What?
Really
That's
weird.
weird.
The
Yeah,
menu
that's
was all
weird.
like vampire shit.
Ew, like blood sausage.
No, they were serving like red juices, like
Yeah.
Kool-Aid
Fruit
or
punch.
fruit punch. They're like, which kind of blood do you want? Like, what the
Can we-
fuck?
Can we show this? Can we show this video on the podcast? Because this
I
is
don't know.
within the
See,
first like minute. You just
There's
see
a
this.
lot of-
I just start bashing this dude with a shield.
There's a lot of DMCA strikes happening.
Yeah, we'll link it. I'll put it in the link.
We'll definitely watch it. I will definitely watch it because that sounds funny as shit. I think we need to be careful right now.
Ref-
There's a reckoning happening. Have
The
you guys
ref
heard about
is
the
like
reckoning?
fully armored up. No, what is
Of
it?
course he has to be. Well, so you know how YouTube a few years ago started issuing tons of DMCA strikes for like watching content or whatever? Like people who are watching like TV shows in their YouTube videos
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
reacting to it. So Twitch has been doing that a lot lately. And they're starting to come down on Twitch streamers and stuff. And I think this was a publicity
Pokemon
stunt.
just got banned.
But Pokemon just got banned for doing that. She was showing Avatar: The Last Airbender, the entire thing, like on her stream, like an idiot. And
Yeah,
I think she did that on purpose. I think she wanted a break.
They've been so this,
people have been doing that on TikTok now, just
Yeah.
showing TV shows.
Yep. It's the live ones. I was scrolling and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
somebody's showing like an anime full episode. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's all over the place.
They're like,
It's
hey, I'm
very
watching
popular.
Naruto episode 400 or something. I'm like, what the fuck?
You know what I wouldn't be surprised at is people just trying to like.
I'm
I think there's
watching
some
that
people
right
showing it.
now.
You're watching the medieval? It's
I wouldn't be
great.
surprised a lot of people just like getting lazy and like I can make money off of watching a show and not doing anything.
Yeah,
Well, here's
yeah.
the thing.
It's the easy way
I-
to make content. It's just
I-
reacting.
They're just like Twitch streamers are just finding out that they're not allowed to do this, which is crazy because this is
Nah, he knows.
it's
They
been
know.
an issue for a while.
They know, but they've been getting away with it for such a long time now that they didn't think anything was going to happen to them.
What's gonna happen is the fucking now TV industry is just gonna come down on them like the music
Well,
industry did.
Also, if you guys know Hassan, who streams, he's a big streamer. He has been watching
Fucking
Iron Chef or something.
oh my god, he's been doing that for a
Master Chef or
while.
something. Yeah, and finally someone told Gordon Ramsay that this was happening because
Yep.
he made a tweet that was like, "What's Twitch?"
Old
And
Gordon
then they explained
Ramsay.
to him-
Yeah.
yeah, they to him, and then all of a sudden Hassan's video started getting DMCA striked because he was watching his material, and he's like, "Well, he obviously expected it. He knew it was going to come eventually, so he's just like, whatever. Guess no more MasterChef streams."
Yeah. So they're just using they're just going at each other. but
Yeah.
their swords
Oh.
are fake.
Yeah, no, they're just going at each other.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that there's some of them out there that like some people know how to sword fight or stuff, but most of them are like MMA fighters who they just give them a sword and shield and they're like fucking beat each other.
Yep.
Because you can
Yeah.
see they'll actually do some like jujitsu and judo and like some moves, like some real moves.
Yeah, I can
And
tell
then-
that one of these guys knows how to use a sword, the other one doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so funny to watch. You think that's funny? You should definitely see the 2v2 obstacle course MMA fights. Those are
Those are
hilarious.
I
Fuck
can't get
you.
enough of those.
fucking so funny, man. It's
Have
just
you
funny.
seen Tag Team? They did Tag Team MMA and Tag Team Jiu-Jitsu.
Those are not as funny. They're funny, but not as funny as the funniest ones
Well,
to
they're-
me are the obstacle
They're
course ones.
weird because like in tag team wrestling, you know how when they tag their partner in, the partner's in for like a quick little special move
Yeah.
where they're both in?
Yep.
They do that.
That's
You have
funny.
like 10 seconds to like do some shit. with
I've
both of you.
never seen the tag team ones. I think I've seen clips of it, but I've seen full matches of the obstacle course, and that's fun. It's just funny to me when they need like a second of breath and they run away and they just start hopping through things to get away from people.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just the funniest shit in the world. I just can't stop
I
laughing.
guess
when I
they're
see
not
it.
allowed to stab each other.
Well, yeah, I
Okay.
mean you'll kill
No
them.
stabbing motions.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
kill
I
somebody.
guess because none of them's done it.
No, you got to swing. You just got to swing.
What the fuck am I watching right now? Thermopylae Combat. There's like 7 people in this rectangle ring. No, there's
They're-
10 people,
And
5
they're-
on each
and
side.
They're all going at each other.
No, there's 4 people on each side just standing there watching, and 2 people going at it in the center.
Oh, it's a fucking gauntlet match. That's what they do in WWE. I
Yeah,
forgot-
but like this ring is a literal rectangle. Like you
That's
could reach out
hilarious.
both arms and touch both sides, but then it's so long.
yeah. So in the WWE, they used to do a thing where it's a special match for like whenever they had rivalries, where they'll have a whole bunch of wrestlers in the ring and they'll circle everybody to make it smaller, and the 2 people are just fighting each other in the middle. I swear, I swear, I feel like Russia just watches WWE, sees the
Like, we're gonna do it
matches,
for real.
and then just said like we're just gonna add people and it's gonna be a real fight. Just fuck it. I it's a wonder they haven't started doing ladder matches in Hell in a Cell.
They probably have.
Cage match,
Probably
MMA.
will.
You climb out of the cage, you're good.
You're good. They'll do just. They'll be like, "You seen WWE? It's the same thing. It's just for real."
Dude, this is so fucking weird. These guys are having a full out fucking kickboxing match. But like the guys when they get too close to a corner, the guys just move out of the way.
I'm telling
like-
you, man. In Russia, they don't give a shit. They don't
Like
give
why
a
they have to
shit.
be in the cage? Why have to be in the ring? Just put them in there for the next one. They're in there.
The ring's already there. Fuck it. Use what you have.
This is a 36-minute fight.
Wow.
Holy shit. There's no breaks in between either. That's the crazy part. Like, none of that shit would ever get sanctioned here in America. Like, that's why it's never here. Can you imagine if you were like just watching the local news, right? Saturday night, and then right after prime time, we got fucking Spider-Man versus Batman and Robin in an obstacle MMA match. You know, the uproar people
doctors-
would put.
The doctors don't even check them. They just let him go into the next one.
Good
This
luck.
guy's
Doctors
swollen
just-
is
Bro,
all hell. His face looks so beaten in, and he's fighting a fresh guy now.
they probably just look from ringside and just go, "Is he breathing? Cool. Go on.
Looks good.
That's good, man."
But
Just-
in real life,
Oh my god, he just dropped this dude. Oh my dear lord. And he's helping him up. He's picking him up. What?
Here and
Uh,
Howard, watch this. It's really funny. This is
Dude, the doctors didn't even go in there. The refs didn't stop it. He knocked this dude out cold, stopped himself, picked the guy up, walked him out of the ring, and is fighting the next guy now. He's on his third guy.
They don't even need refs or like they don't need anybody. Fighters just do it themselves. It's fucking
Should we
funny.
do Am I the Asshole?
Yeah, let's do it. The asshole.
Okay, I need you guys to stop watching though and listen.
I'm listening.
And did you stop watching?
Yeah, I'm not watching anything. Drinking a juice box.
You have a juice
Okay.
box?
Juice box.
Wow.
So I have my main one and my backup one, depending on how long this takes us to discuss. Okay. This one made me angry. Am I the
Oh.
asshole for demanding my husband to replace all of the books he threw away? I, female 31, am a reader. Used to read a lot in my teenage years as an escape method for many of my problems and recently got back to reading. I read classic books. Since this category is my fave, I spend time and effort visiting libraries and online shops to collect books. Thing is, my husband, male 33, hates it when I read. We've just returned from honeymoon 2 months ago, and he's been complaining about books taking our special time away, specifically at night, but I like to think that I'm balancing with my reading time. He started calling me grandma, or say I remind him of an old lady neighbor to get me to quit reading, but I didn't budge. A week ago, Hammerd, are you still watching?
No, I was laughing at that. That
Okay.
she called her grandma for reading a book.
A week ago, I found out that he's given my book collection away, and I was devastated after he defended himself, saying he did this for my own good and for the sake of our marriage, since I seemed to forget my priorities. I flipped out, yelled at him that those books were hard to get, and demanded he pay me and replace them right then. But he said that I really should invest my time in an outdoor hobby we could both do. But I was having none of it and demanded he replace the books. I gave him a list of every name of every book, and when he saw it, he laughed and asked if I was really still thinking about those books and suggested I move on. But I yelled at him, telling him he has a week to replace them, and that's it. He's trying to get me to let it go, and had others say it was childish of me to start a fight over some books while the library is open, but they got no comment from me. Am I the asshole for expecting him to replace the books? Edit. Hi. First of all, typos, apologies for that. And wow, just got home and saw this. Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed by the comments here, and I won't be responding to all of them, but I read a few and will answer some questions. Yes, my husband knew about my love for reading, but like I said, it's been a long time since I've read a book. So this is recent. I confess that my husband did express that he felt neglected/ignored by me when I'm reading, but I didn't think his concerns were legit. What do I plan on doing if he kept stalling and didn't replace the books in a week? I already told him what I do now. I've given him extra days, which piss him off even more. And finally, am I married to Gaston? No comment on that. Am I the asshole?
So I do have a additional question that obviously we don't get an answer to. He said that she's neglecting stuff. Is that just neglecting him? Or like is she
imagining
actually
him.
not doing things?
I'm imagining
Yeah.
him. The way she made it sound made it seem like she's neglecting him.
And so I don't think she's the asshole, but
But
in the same breath, what he did to her with the books is what she's doing to him with whatever problem he's having, because she said he's expressed it, but she felt his claims are unfounded and don't matter. So he did the same thing back, which is not, I mean, two wrongs don't make a right, but it's weird.
But the thing is, he overreacted to that anyway. Instead of trying to talk to her again and be like, no, this is serious.
He
Like,
just
we're not
chucked the
having enough
books, yeah.
sex. Like, stop reading us books before bed. He just threw her whole collection away.
Well, she said he brought it up before, or he has brought it up before. It's
right.
not like a surprise.
Right. But do you really think that reading could get in the way of their sex life?
I mean,
Because
it doesn't
I
necessarily
know-
mean sex per se, right? She doesn't actually say that. But like being neglected, it'd be the same thing as, and I don't condone the books and I don't condone this, but it'd be the same thing as girls who like throw out their guy's gaming console because they play
hate
video
that.
games too much.
Yeah, but it's
And
okay,
like and like their feelings are warranted. Their actions are not, you know. You don't just do some wild ass shit like that.
Well, and I also want to point out that she mentioned she read a lot as a teenager when things were going wrong for her. And she just mentioned they got back from honeymoon and 2 months later she starts reading again. So it seems like something was going wrong even prior to him throwing out the books. It seems like she was unhappy because she wanted to escape into books again.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I
something
mean,
where they
it
should
could
know.
be either something of hers, like personal, or it could be something they were going through, and then he feels further disconnected by her getting into books and not talking to him. Which, I mean, it would bother me. I don't know that I would throw out somebody's book collection, but
Do we think that this is emotional abuse? Because I do. I
Mm,
think someone taking your property and getting rid of it without talking to you just so that they spend more time with you seems a little abusive to me.
I guess
I think it is.
It could be
But
perceived that
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
But isn't it all like, I guess the catch-22 is also, isn't it emotionally abusive to not talk to your partner and just read your books and say that they can't say you can't do this? You know what I'm
True.
saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying
yeah,
it justifies
Yeah,
anything.
guilt-
It's
yeah.
still,
both
It's on a
ways.
completely different level, though.
I mean, why is one worse than the other? It's all, I mean, it's all interpretation. I don't think one is ever going to be worse than the other, regardless of what's happening, unless you like cause physical harm to somebody. Then I would say that's the worst. Like, that's always going to be worse than any emotional thing, even though emotional is super important. You know
Well,
what I'm
and he
saying?
knows how much time she spent trying to get all these books and reading these books. Like they obviously meant a lot to her. And to
I,
just make the executive decision, like, oh, she's not spending enough time with me. Let me just throw away the things that she cares
in
about.
in no
Like,
way
what
am I
if your
saying
girlfriend
this is
was
the
like,
thing. In
what
no
if
way
your
am I
girlfriend?
saying this is a good thing for
Yeah.
him to do that. So it's not necessary. I'm not justifying him doing that. I guess I also want it to be mentioned, while you justify her not being the asshole, you should also justify that like she's ignoring the possible, because we don't know, the possible emotional abuse to him, or the guy possible emotional abuse to the girl who threw out the Xbox because he plays Xbox all day and doesn't talk to her or hang out with her.
That's true.
It doesn't justify what happened. And you're not an asshole for making him do that and making that happen. And really, he should just be like, yeah, that was an asshole move of me, but we do need to figure this out. We do need to have a conversation. I need to buy these things and try to rectify this. But we
But,
do
like,
need to have this
financial
happen.
ramifications of doing it. Like, why do it?
Yeah, it's dumb. It's definitely overreaction. And like you said, emotional abuse. I guess I don't want to say it's emotional abuse one way, because that further enforces one person's thought that they're fine ignoring the other person's possible good
Needs.
claim.
Yeah. Well, and I agree. We don't know the whole story. She could have been completely neglecting him and escaping
Well,
to her books and didn't
the
give him time.
the wording that like got me like thinking about that more, because I like to play the devil's advocate a little bit and like try to figure out the other side, even if it's like an unforeseen side or some side that I'm like, no, this is not the way it goes. Is like, she said, can you read it again? What she said when she said that he brought it up?
Yeah, give me 30 seconds.
Because like she said something along the lines of like his feelings didn't matter or something like that, and I'm like, what? Like how did you type that out? First of all, saying it is one thing because you just like blurt out what you're feeling or saying, but how did you type that out?
Okay. We've just returned from honeymoon 2 months ago, and he's been complaining about books taking our special time away, specifically at night, but I like to think that I'm balancing with my reading time. He started calling me grandma or blah 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 blah. Hold on. I know there was something.
It might have
Someone
been
else
in the
mentioned it
update.
too. Yeah.
It might have been in the
Hold
edit.
on. Oh, here we go. It is the edit. I confess that my husband did express that he felt neglected / ignored by me when I'm reading, but I didn't think his concerns were legit.
Yeah, that sounds wild to say. I didn't think his concerns about how he feels with us were legitimate. Like, you
Yeah,
can have your own feelings and not, like, you know,
I
believe
guess.
or like feel bad for like what they're going through, but like to say they're not legit is like wild to me.
Yeah, I agree because no matter how irrational the other person thinks it is, like the other person's feelings are legit no matter what. Like that's something you need to talk about. That's something you need to discuss. I feel like I'm taking from my experience, and that's obviously not a good thing to do because this is not my situation. So I feel more empathy towards her because I feel like I've been in that situation when I develop a new hobby. It's like I am still spending time with you. I am still, being intimate with you. I'm just also dividing my time between this new thing. And I think maybe he just got used to having all of her time and devotion that it didn't sit right with him that all of a sudden she picked up her old hobby and is spending time with that as well.
I think you
Jealous.
nailed it on the head. And I'm fully supportive of both of them except for the like tossing the fucking book shit out.
Yeah, that's the bad part. That's the irrational part.
I
The
guess the
other
problem is like there is no physical thing other than the not being intimate or not having time to talk that like she can throw out to be equal. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no like thing that happened.
yeah.
So it's just kind of arbitrary and she's not going to understand that because it doesn't bother her. And I say this kind of being on the same side as you, Frenchie. Like I've had girlfriends who are like, you play video games too much. And I'm like, I was just at the gym for 3 hours. I worked an 8 hour day. I want to play some games for a little bit.
Yeah.
And like they just weren't getting it. And in retrospect, at that time frame, I'm like, I don't know what you don't get about this. You're dumb. Like that's what was going through my head. But in retrospect, it's like, yeah. I mean, maybe I can see that. They don't understand the outlet that's happening. They feel ignored. They feel like this is time we should have.
Right. And it's
So
not like
like,
you spent a ton of time trying to get them to understand. You just assumed that they should.
yeah, and that's like the big problem I think that starts it all. And like not to say she's responsible for him throwing her books out, but she can't take herself out of the blame completely either.
Right. Because she even said he brought it up and she basically ignored it. She didn't say we
Yeah.
talked it out, we came to a solution, blah, blah,
She said
blah.
they're not legitimate, and that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. So they definitely should have had more of a
Not only is
conversation.
that wild, but wild to type it out
Yeah.
and just say
Yeah.
that
Also
out
true.
there.
Especially after the fact, after she posted the original.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Anyone have any last thoughts on that?
I think it was an asshole move to throw away the books. It's the same thing like Hammer said the woman would throw away the guy's gaming system. So like that's kind
What
of
do
fucked
you,
up.
what do you think should happen if he refuses to repay the books or make it up to her? What should the next step be?
Honestly, I think the first step should be getting to the root of the problem, not
Yeah.
even making it up.
I feel like what the next step will be is just something that just evolves from that. So like
I think the first step should be
Couples counseling?
Yeah.
that, or even
just talk it out.
if you don't want to take it to that extreme, just being like, you have to like recognize this is legitimate and we have to come to an understanding. And if we don't, then we don't. And then we're just not a thing.
Right. But
You
they have
know?
to put in that effort, right?
Yeah, both of them do. And then after that compromise has been figured out or not figured out, then for sure he needs to like figure out how to either get them books back or new ones or make it up or do something.
Yeah.
Because that's regardless if they stay together or not, that's unreal.
Yeah. Could you imagine like him, or if someone was like, you're practicing boxing or whatever too much, and just threw out all of your gear? It was like, what are you doing? Like, what? It's crazy. So yeah, I guess we don't need the second one because that took up enough time. Do you have a conspiracy theory for us?
I don't.
That's okay.
All right.
We've hit the marker of time anyway. So
Shout outs.
I have a conspiracy theory.
All right. What's your conspiracy theory?
that
Okay,
Bill
we have
Gates.
no more time. I do apologize. Shout out.
Shout out.
No,
I'm
just
gonna.
kidding. Go ahead. Bill Gates is what?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
No,
No,
go
no,
ahead,
we're
go ahead,
kidding.
go ahead.
We're kidding.
Yeah,
Come on.
you're not
Come
gonna
on.
guilt us. This is it.
That Bill Gates did in fact put microchips inside the Pfizer vaccine, and everyone that got Moderna is safe, but everyone that got Pfizer is going to turn into robots.
Turn
Shit,
into
I'm
robots.
gonna be a robot.
That escalated real quickly.
Why Bill Gates?
Because Bill Gates funded it with the Melinda and Bill Foundation.
But what? Like, what does Bill Gates get at this? Like, he gets to become like ruler of robots?
Yeah,
Tracking?
so like just like Mark Zuckerberg is ruler of Facebook and the metaverse, right? Bill Gates wanted to be ruler of a robot army.
To fight the
take
meta
on-
army.
Yeah, to fight the meta army.
Is that gonna be like Civil War? Meta versus robots?
Turning into
Yes.
what are we, Ultron?
If you got to pick, whose team would you be on? Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates?
Bill Gates.
Ooh, Bill Gates. Yeah, I
Gates.
think Bill
Bill
Gates.
Gates.
Bill
I think I'd
Gates.
be on
Well,
Bill
here's
Gates,
the
yeah.
thing. What is, if I go to Zuckerberg, what am I getting?
That's a good question. What is
Because
the,
because if I go with Bill, I'm becoming a fucking robot. So like Terminator, yeah.
or at least fuck. My head is just fucking out of it today. I can't think of words.
Brain damage.
Oh,
Spar
good.
with
Being-
spar with
being
headgear.
hit pretty much.
Spar with headgear, guys. The like half machine, half human. Cyborg.
Cyborg.
At least a cyborg for
Yeah,
Bill
what are you
Gates.
getting out of Zuckerberg? You're getting a revamped Facebook? Like what?
What
You're getting.
What if
a nice-
Zuckerberg is like the Matrix and he like makes people plug in and like you live in this like alternate realm?
Yeah, so
Or you
you're
could
do
gonna
whatever
get
you
a nice
want.
a nice condo in the metaverse.
That's nice. That's cool.
That's nice.
Wouldn't Soul need 2 of those though?
River.
Oh my god, I just made my own conspiracy theory right now.
Oh,
You ready?
okay, yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg is making the metaverse, which is the Matrix, and Bill Gates is creating an army of robots that control the humans while they're plugged in, which is going to be those farming robots eventually, like in the Matrix, that go around and like check the pods.
You know,
And we
I
have
don't-
the Matrix.
I don't think we
Yeah.
should speak that into existence. Let's
Because
just
that
not,
actually sounds pretty legit.
because that's scary.
Yeah, that sounds
Alright.
pretty legit.
Let's not dive deeper into that. I'm
Who?
good.
So in
If
this
you guys,
so if this
if
is
you guys
if
don't
this
hear from
is
me,
if this is real, like that does that make what's it called?
am I
Ke-
Neo?
No, it's Keanu Reeves actually Neo.
Wow.
Well, Keanu Reeves is part of the Matrix at that point, so
Yeah.
you can't have Matrix hero in the Matrix.
He's like Agent Smith when
Shit.
Agent Smith is the virus
Yeah.
and doing his own thing because he's trying to show you, but like still wants to be. in
Dude, the
charge.
twist is we're in the Matrix already. And they gave us a movie, The Matrix, where Keanu Reeves is the hero, but really, in real life, he's Agent Smith in our Matrix.
How
yeah,
does this paradox keep unfolding?
this
How
is
is
real life.
How
Guys,
is-
if I'm not here next week and I don't answer you, you know what happened.
I'm about to
Let it be known.
Nah,
You
I'm
got
about
killed.
to,
The blue pill- no,
I'm
the
writing
blue
this
pill.
down and I'm sending this to like the fandom of Matrix and like
Oh
I'm
my
telling
god.
this is a fan made story.
Can we just like act it out?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
who's
next
going to call
week,
up
guys-
Keanu Reeves?
Next week, guys, we're having a live action play on how this will play out.
Yeah.
Magic Keanu Reeves just shows up. So you want me
Keanu
to play my
Reeves.
part?
And then I just order costumes for the rest of us.
That'd be
I
funny.
like it.
Yeah.
You guys, some of you will need silver paint, spray paint for your bodies.
What?
Oh, I thought we
'Cause
were
you'll
about
be-
to do what's it
Robots.
called from fucking Max Thunderdome.
Oh, that yeah.
What's his name? Not Max Payne.
Oh,
Mad Max.
It's a bad
Mad Max.
Where they take the silver and they spray themselves. Witness me.
That's what you're gonna do because you're a robot.
I knew it.
All right. And shout outs. Soul, you go first.
I guess shout out to the University Hospital here in Florida because they took care of me, made sure I wasn't dying.
There you go.
So shout out to the hospital staff. Thanks for keeping me alive.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, good job.
River.
Um,
shout out to all the frontline workers, both in healthcare, fire department, paramedics, right? Having to do with COVID and lack of staffing, right? Shout out to them. Keep up the good
Include
work.
teachers in that too, please.
But teachers are off right now in Canada. They get a vacation.
Not for me.
Okay, so then shout out to the teachers too, teaching our kids hopefully to not buy land in the metaverse and become robots with the vaccine.
Hammered.
I'm gonna shout out Jake Paul. Fight me.
Fight it! You don't have the balls.
Shout out Jake Paul for sullying my good name.
Running Paul's forever.
It's every day, bro,
Uh,
with that Disney Channel flow. Remember?
Shut up.
Did you guys see that? That was great.
Nope.
I
Stop.
showed a River Jake Paul video that he was doing music video, and it's
I've seen it. Yep.
the everyday bro, where he
Yep.
says
It's every day, bro.
it's every day, bro, like that Disney Channel flow.
Oh my god.
Awful. It was awful.
Wait,
yeah.
before we head out, what was he in Disney? Because he was something, right?
I
what was it?
forgot. For the life of me, I
It
forgot.
wasn't Disney. It was XD, which is like Disney owned. And this was after our time, by the way.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, you wouldn't have seen it. I never saw it.
Because
It
I only
was-
time I remember seeing the Paul brothers, they're twins, right? Or is one older?
One's
One's
older.
older.
Yeah, one's older.
The only time I remember seeing them is in like Vine doing some
Yeah.
wild shit. And
I
just
knew-
No.
being shirtless.
I
Bizarre
forgot what
Vark.
show was,
Bizardvark.
and that was a Disney Disney show.
Zardvark.
Yep, XD. Disney
That
XD.
sounds
Oh,
familiar.
Disney XD. Okay.
Centers on best friends Paige and Frankie, who express their offbeat individuality through funny music videos on their vlog channel, Bizardvark.
All right.
Uh,
I remember him like Vine. That's how I remember.
My shout out is to me.
Let's
You
go.
remember those teachers that I've told stories about
Mm.
that I work with?
Yeah, yeah.
So they both want to leave. There's a whole thing with my school, but they both want to leave. And I'm helping them leave to another school district because I have a friend who's a principal there. So they asked me if I could reach out and ask some questions, and I sent some questions and recommended them for a job.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I
These are the ones
took
who
the
were
high
talking
road.
shit about you.
Yep, I took the high road and I'm helping them out, and now they can leave.
There you go. Show him
Yeah.
out the door.
hmm
All right. Well,
All right.
everybody, thanks for being on the show. Everybody who was watching, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week around 10 p.m. same time. The podcast will be all the episodes will be up by the end of the weekend. And then this episode will be up by Wednesday. So just be on the lookout for that on Podbean. And we'll be back next week.
Love you.
See you everybody.
Bye.
Bye. River, you have to say bye. You can't just wave at
Bye.
the camera.
I just waved.